Yeah.
Ahoy, hoy. How are ya?
How am I? I'm not as busy as you, I would say, for sure.
We're not gonna get into that, I'm sure, man. But that's kind of why I wanted to do this show in general. Was I was talking to Death and Strawberries about this. We interview these artists, we hear secondhand all the time or third hand what it's like being in these shows. And oddly silly self-imposed stress. Nobody gives it. Like people care, but you're sitting there being like, I gotta get it done. You know, you're talking to people at work. You're like, oh, I'm so stressed out. I got this piece I gotta get done for this art show. They're like, oh, where's the art show? On Instagram, online, and they're like, oh, are you sending it off? And you're like, no, I'm posting it on my Instagram. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, is it a contest or does you get paid to? Nah, just doing it. And like you're stressing out, you're worried about like letting the team down. You're the team.
Yeah. Is it a contest? Yeah, we're playing for a new box of Crayolas and a little set of watercolors. They're all primary colors, so
a couple pats on the back, little ego strokes.
Yeah. Dude, so first and foremost, Super Terrible Toys, Gray School Toys, 8-Bit Mike, Zimico, Eddie Anaya. Just watched the show on Magnificent World of Toys. That was dope. Folklore, Recycle Galaxy, Brilliant Demon, Micah, Dookie McFart Sniffle, Rutro Toys, Pikmin's Vinyls, Bliss Receptor, David Dunn, Hobo Toys, Bootleg Overdose, my man, what is up? Lynn's the Rat Boy, Dark Rainbow, Sir Collect a Lot, Jazz Wizard. Whew, dude. This is gonna be a good one, dude. Thank you everybody joining on the replay. If you're doing so, we are gonna get into some shit tonight, buddy. Video games, nostalgia is thick. We were just chatting before we got on here, dude. Acid 9 Toys, what up? We were talking about some of the first games that I or the first post that I saw today. Dude, Castlevania, Altered Beasts. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I can't wait, dude.
No, I'm not to be that dude. What age category would you say you might have been when something like Castlevania or Altered Beast came out? Don't have to give me an exact age, but age range, you know.
Age range, I would say prime video game age, and that would be, God, dude, Castlevania 1. I'm gonna guess that came out probably late 80s. For me, I was born in 79, man. So I was like right around 8, 9, 10 when those came out. And I mean, dude, Nintendo games for me, regular Nintendo games were always cool because that was a system that my mom would not buy, dude. Like I grew up with a fucking Atari, you know what I mean? So anytime that I saw a regular Nintendo was always at a friend's house, and I always thought it was fucking like, super dope that they had it. Like if you had an NES, I instantly thought that you were the shit and probably rich, but once I got older and could acquire them myself, dude, I kind of went off the deep end. That's another collection of mine is Nintendo stuff, but it just doesn't hold the candle to some of those other collections that you see posted all the time. But still, dude, when you see pieces like these that bring out, some of the old games, holy shit, dude. Very nice, man.
I used to work with a dude, and he not only collected old video games, but he actually collected old TVs because essentially, and I'm sure there's some of you in the chat that would understand this and be like, hell yeah, brother. But his whole thing was like the TVs from the eras these consoles and the games were made typically were kind of like the best. The games were being made for the general TVs at that time. And so having the games and the TVs that match the games helps them get more immersed into the game.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, you know what I mean? And dude, I absolutely have held on to old TVs specifically to play video games on. You know, because you have all the old hookups and it's still super legit. Cool Cat Toyco says, "Where's my N64 gang at?" Yes, sir. Absolutely.
See, and that's
Mario
probably where I started making my own money and being like, okay, I can buy my own games now. I don't have to worry about like what's coming in at Christmas or what my older brother's bringing in. 64 would probably be the age where I was actually kind of like getting all the Mario parties, getting. Do you remember Mario 64? I remember being blown away. That game was like $68, $70 when that shit came out. I remember being so like bewildered.
Mario 64.
Mario 64, man.
Yeah, dude. And see, for me, man, I think, you know, starting off with an Atari back in like the mid 80s, for me, that to me was kind of more at the end of my video game career, I guess you would say. Like once PlayStation 1 came around, bro, I really phased out after that, dude. Like my whole focus switched into other things. But I got up to about PlayStation 1, and then you know, it just became about other things. But I still do have all my old vintage systems though, dude. Like my N64. Yes, I have an orange one, dude. It's fucking dope. I have my old my Genesis Master System. I have that, dude. I have my
nice.
I have my Game Boy. I have my Atari. I mean, the thing is that you know you got to hook up 1,000 different things to make them fucking work nowadays, but you can do it. Anyways, dude, long story short, we got some dope shit to look at. You know what's funny is I didn't even realize, dude, you talked 0% about you being in this show. You know, up until, God, dude, I don't know if you even mentioned it. We might have mentioned it last week, but besides that, dude, and then you dropped something from Echo the Dolphin. Bro, get the hell out of here. I almost want to say you're too young to be making a piece about Echo the Dolphin. That's what I feel like saying.
I was kind of saying it to you beforehand, man, and so I didn't post much about mine because I knew we were gonna be sitting here. I figured it would maybe come up. I'm like, you know, we're gonna talk toys, and I'm not gonna write too much about mine. But Echo for me, man, it's such a weird fucking game, and I think it's one of those games where I was always allowed to play that one without somebody like looking over my shoulder, being like, "I'm up next." You know what I mean? When like for some reason my mother was down with Sega when it was in the house too. My brother was into Sega, so a lot of times the games it was one of those things where it was like every level or die. So every time you hit the next level, you pass the controller, or if you die, that's just kind of like the rule of thumb, right? Level or die, you pass the controller. Echo is that one that it didn't matter, man. And like looking back, it so kind of jokes me. I was telling you, I was like, I should have fucking known then about the TISM. You're sitting there with this game, just calm music going. You're swimming with this little fucking dolphin, shooting things at stuff. And then honestly, the part that probably appealed most to me was actually making that beat, dude. That shit's so titillating to me, man. And like you guys heard maybe 30 seconds if you even clicked on it. It's like 2 minutes long. I even actually spat a little verse on it. It exists in my computer at the moment of just using, you're looking through, like for some reason somebody uploaded all these Sega sounds from the original like game. And so you go through and like you can like visually you can see like a hi-hat and a snare and a kick drum. So like you're literally looking at that. That's like the easiest part. You're like, okay, yeah, if I chop that here and I just EQ it properly and compress it properly, like that's a hi-hat, that's a kick drum, that's a snare. So like you grab your drums pretty easily. But then you start finding these stupid noises of like 16-bit dolphin noises and fucking whale calls and fucking using open hi-hats as like the dolphin crashing back in and shit. And that part's the part that comes titillating to me, man. Manipulating the sounds and stuff to then actually like sound like it could be with the game, using the sounds from the game. And like the piece, unfortunately, like I'll admit, I chickened out. Originally, I wanted him floating. I wanted to actually cast all resin inside there. And as I was staring at it, I was like, if I do that, I'm gonna have like a big foggy mess. It's not gonna fucking turn out. I didn't know how to play into it, so I ended up using that little invisible stick to try and pick him up there. But then, of course, having the stick didn't account for how deep to send it into the fucking dolphin, so he pokes up out of the top now. So I'm not gonna lie, after tonight, like I'm probably gonna rip that out of there again. And I shit you not, like, dudes, you guys all understand this. Not for like dramatic effect or anything like that. Like a fool, I use this product called leveling gel quite often, and the leveling gel is essentially like a liquid plastic, and as it cures, it's kind of like a resin, but it's not quite like a resin. and I should have laid a much thinner layer, because unfortunately the deeper layer, rather than like with resin where it actually cures from the bottom up, this actually cures where the air is touching it down, kind of like glue. And most of you are going to know, like, all I did was basically create a fucking seal everywhere where it then cured at the top. And I had all this wet fucking leveling gel underneath right till like this morning, at which point I'm drilling up underneath it, hoping that that'll actually cause air to come up and like actually cure it and cause it to drip out. No bueno. Fucking thing, I go to drill another one later on this afternoon. It's like 2 PM, cracks in my hand. So I go fucking running out to the store to try and grab another one. I'm like yanking this thing out of there as I'm trying to fucking sit on the counter and not have everything start crumbling apart, because the base is a bunch of fake rocks that I made with fucking blasting up resin chunks and dyeing it brown. And because that's the other, like, dude, I sat the fucking stupid little, these thingies, they're weed stems. I sat there with weed stems, super gluing them together to make stupid little fauna, and then painting them afterwards and spraying them over and over again. Stupid.
It's dope, though. It's not stupid. It's not stupid. Probably took a stupid amount of time, I would think. We will get to all that, I'm sure, somewhere down the line. But yeah, man, video games. I'm kind of surprised that the video game format hasn't been done before. I'm glad it's been done now, and I hope that we'll repeat of this one. Kajiki and Cave Dweller, congratulations. Great show.
Great show. And honestly, we're missing a bunch of the stuff in the chat here as well. I'm so sorry, dudes. Kyle Kerwin played that game way too late on school nights. Good call, man. Ashley Alberto, watching the story you posted, make me thanks. Fuck you, James. But yeah, dude, this show is a great idea. And all I could think when we were actually posting up the post was Cage and Cave Dweller have done a great job, man. They've really figured out how to do this, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, dude. Gosh, they're doing the GI show, they're doing the Shrek show, they're doing the 1-Up show. That's 3. So yeah, what the hell, man? They definitely got the little formula going on.
And I got to feel like a ninja in this one, man. Got to see the inside scoop again. Like, if we asked, if we ever asked any of the dudes throwing a show, like, hey, you mind keeping us in the loop of what's going on? They absolutely would. But typically we're kind of out of the loop. So it was kind of neat to kind of see like what goes on in the chat, what they end up providing, how they're kind of checking in, making sure they're being humans too. But then they're also kind of like, even tonight, they're like, yes, these are the hashtags that we're using. Like, I don't think you guys understand the amount of what's that called? Monitoring. Moderating? There we go.
There you go.
Even throwing a show does.
Who was there? Ashley Alvarado says, and they are excellent communicators, makes it very enjoyable. And I think that is probably a huge key to any show is communication, especially with the other artists in the show. I think that always makes for a good recipe, is plenty of communication. And I think that any show that we've seen and where artists talk about why it was a good show, I think communication is usually a theme where it's nice, clear, and concise directions on how this thing's going to go down. And then we end up arriving at, typically, the end of the show, I guess you would say, is where we come in and kind of wrap things up, which is always fun. This one is going to be especially fun. You know what's funny, dude? When you were talking about when it was time to give the controller up when you were playing Echo the Dolphin, right? What about arcade games? Did you ever go and play arcade games? I'm sure that you did. And you didn't want to be that one guy or be behind the guy who just keeps on pumping quarters in there. So what did we do, right? People can relate to this. You put your fucking quarter up there on the screen and you know that's, like you got next by putting your quarter up there. So in my personal arcade at home, even though they don't run on quarters, we put a quarter up there on the screen just so everybody remembers who's next. But anyways, I don't know if that was something that you ever did, dude, but whenever, all the local arcades or any place that had arcade games, like if you didn't go up there and put your quarter on the screen, where are you from?
Most of the ones I encountered, I'll be honest, it was kind of like you knew they were janky and busted and you just didn't bother. It was almost kind of like you just didn't put your money in there. But just to kind of be an asshole for a moment, what I do remember is being about like 5, maybe 6, and looking over at some people playing pool and asking my dad if he wanted to go play pool, and him saying, "Yeah, go put a coin on there," and explaining to me that that's what him and his buddies used to do when they go to the old arcades.
There you go. There you go. Well, that gosh, dude. Arcades. If people don't know, take a look at Zimico's. I think he even posted something in his stories today about his arcade. That gentleman has the largest arcade in the state of New York, if you didn't know. And if you want to hear all about that, go back to our old episode with Zimico. It's a fantastic watch. He is an incredible person, but his relationship with video games and the video game industry, and now with vintage video games, buying, selling, that kind of thing. If you want to know what's up with any type of old school video games, Zimico, that's your man right there.
Dude, see, and that's the big difference too. I've never seen an arcade like Zimico's arcade, but that's a big difference. Right? It's
stupid. It's crazy, dude. Eddie Anaya says Marvel vs. Capcom. What a great game that was, dude. Yes, straight up, man. Cool, dude. Well, whenever you're ready and you want to jump in, how many artists did we have total in this show besides yourself?
I didn't even actually count, but there are quite a few. I think I tried to catch everybody. I basically compared tag lists that individuals had to hopefully catch everybody. But if you're somebody who kind of knows that maybe you haven't been getting noticed in the show, you haven't been getting the likes or anything like that because you think you've maybe been missed in the tagging, please shout your name out here, and I'll try and make sure that I'm pulling your window up and getting you up for the show as well, so that everybody gets a little bit of an equal part. And then you know how it is, man.
That's one thing too, and I think as always, we do our damnedest, and you do a great job, man, of trying to get every single person that's on that poster. Shit happens. Sometimes stuff gets missed. Sometimes people don't get on the poster. They either enter late or they were excluded on the poster, and it's always by mistake. So if we come across somebody that you think that we've missed tonight, please let us know. We will jump right to their page and show their pieces or piece.
The other thing is, and this is honestly there's nothing I personally can really do about it. If for whatever reason you have me blocked and I can't pull up I just don't, I won't see you. I literally, I'm not avoiding sharing your piece. Instagram will not let me see your piece. So if that is also a case,
that's why you do it from the show account. Show account.
The show account should show it, but
correct.
It won't.
Epoxy Crusader, what is up, dude? I put a couple video game related pieces in my story today, and one of them that I chose was the Epoxy Crusader Duck Hunt piece, which was really cool. So he is no stranger to video games himself.
Duck Hunt's fucking brilliant, my dude.
Great game.
The fact, and you guys know.
Yes, we know. Yes.
The infrared that bounces back off the TV to the controller, that's what actually hits the duck. That technology is just fucking whack to me, my dude.
Bro, another reason why I save the old TV to play on, you know what I mean? You can't use that shit on an LCD or a plasma style or LC, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Got to keep it. Anyways, here we go.
Now, and I'm sure you maybe noticed this as well. Something that I thought was really fucking sick about the show, Epoxy Crusader actually included. Minestrone was actually one. Exploded Mrs. Minestrone was actually one. But a couple of artists that we don't normally actually contribute to shows, or we don't necessarily see a whole lot of work from. It was nice to actually see them pop up all of a sudden for this show, man. The paint apps on these are fucking stupid. I think we're going to be saying that a lot this evening.
Yep.
But 4-inch by 4-inch by 9-inch each. All that little detailing.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. And they, obviously they nailed it, with the cabinet and even the gameplay on there, dude. I mean,
man.
Dude, and just a different take on a piece for the show, right? Like, you wouldn't necessarily think right off the bat of someone making an arcade cabinet, but dope.
What's sick about this though is think of the action figures you can have stationed up at the arcade cabinets.
And I mean, if you look at the scale, dude, I mean, it lines right up, right? It's perfect for figures. Dude, look at that.
So they go with not, I don't want to say sticker, but do you think that's like a printout that's been adhered?
I don't think so. I don't think so, dude. Because if you look at some of those lines back on the Pac-Man one, the lines on that lower left-hand part of the display, they're not completely straight. You know what I mean? So it looks like all hand detailed work, dude. That's nuts, man.
See, I love Zametco here. Like personally, I was looking at them thinking to myself, like, damn, I don't know if they've got like the shapes. But then even he's like, yeah, the coin doors are correct. It's like, Jesus.
Oh, well, there you go. He would know. He would know.
Right?
You know, a few years back, it was a commercial thing, but somebody came out with, I think it was like a blind box style thing, and I think the packaging was little boxes like that. They were just little shitty, you know, paper ones, but still cool. These are great, man. Crazy detail on those.
I love how like Zamet pointed out, no, they are painted. And like, admittedly, if you look really close to the Frogger one, you can kind of tell.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's
crazy,
man. Fucking Suburban Yeti from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeti. Super sick.
What we got here? Oh, yo, 8-Bit Mike.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, straight up, man. You know, he sent us a message saying that, hey, I didn't get on the poster. And then I started looking at his account and saw the pieces, and he came with a slab, for sure.
Anybody who plays with resin is going to know why these are so sick, man. Like the amount of air, the opportunity for air to be getting trapped in these cans is absolutely bewildering. I also love that 8-Bit showed it from like the side angle there, so you can see like where it had to be sitting on one casted portion. We know how they do their casts typically, and would have had to like let that cure to then plunk it down to then pour in more to then. And how do you not have that float at that point? Right.
You know what I love too, dude, about like in these shows, dude, it's always cool to go outside the box and do something completely different. But at the same time, dude, it's really cool to see a piece that's done in the theme that's meant for the show, and you can identify with it right away, and you can tell who made that. Like, I mean, it's a slab. Obviously, it's 8-Bit Mike, right? Dude, how big? I mean, come on, dude.
Oh, they're massive. I think when he was in, he was letting us know that they were basically like 8.5 by 11 slabs. The little blues in this one are fucking sick, dude. I don't know, like, I'll admit, I don't really know how are you using sequins or to do like toothbrush style that shit? And how did you roll these? Like, did you just press these cans against the freaking counter, or did you roll them with a rolling pin or something? That was something else I wanted to know.
16-ounce energy drink cans. You know, and let's talk about the games real quick, dude. We got Pac-Man, who we just kind of talked about, but then Mega Man, dude. Mega Man, dope game, dude. I don't know how many Mega Mans they ended up coming out with, but those original ones on NES, dude, those were some of the funnest games, dude. You know, you got to beat one guy and get his power to beat the next guy and kind of figure that little puzzle out. But damn, that was a fun game, dude.
For me, that's one of those ones you go to a sleepover and you end up, that person introduces it to you for the first time, and you're just like, holy shit, okay, where's this been all my life? Oh, frick.
Agree, dude. Agree.
Actually, in the Cave Dweller one too, they were talking about Pac-Man 3D and hopping over the walls and shit.
Yes,
fuck, that game was dope.
You know what? Just another little thing about Pac-Man real quick, dude. I was talking about old school cartoons with somebody with Hurt Toys the other day, dude. Remember this one? The Pac-Man cartoon? I don't know. We might have even talked about that on the show. But I don't know if I'm sure people remember that one, dude. The Pac-Man cartoon. What a fucking that was. I mean,
I saw that.
I watched it.
I saw that around Christmas time, actually. Not to lie, man. I love cartoons so fucking much, and I will go hunting all. If I see something and I'm reading about it on Wikipedia, or I'm down a rabbit hole, and it mentions anywhere there was an animated series, I'm probably going to take it in and see what the heck it was all about. Cartoons are my shit.
Yeah, and you know what, man, it's even one of those things where it's cool to just kind of put them on in the background sometimes, and then just kind of, sometimes I'll put it on when I'm either just kind of cleaning up around the house, or I don't have a TV in the toy room, but it's adjacent to it. So as you're kind of walking back and forth throughout the house, you see it and you hear things, and then it's cool, man. We were talking about all kinds of old school cartoons the other day, dude, but just throwing on like fucking Smurfs and fucking Snorks and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like all kinds of crazy shit. Scott Cherry, what's up, my dude? I need to talk to you, my man, about a email list. I'll get to you. I'll send you a message this weekend about that. So, oh my God, the Q*bert cartoon. Remember Q*bert? The fuck out of here with that Q*bert, dude.
I'm gonna have to pull up an image of what Q*bert looks like. I think the thing I like about cartoons the most is they often touch on shit, and I've brought this up often. They touch on shit that like adult shows don't bring up often. The other day I was making coffee. Arthur's playing in the background, and the whole episode was about how when somebody does a favor, the kids all have this like theory that like you basically take stock of the favors people do for you because they're always expecting you to basically pay that favor back. And it becomes this weird thing where like everybody's basically trying to repay the favors back to make sure that nobody owes anybody favors. And of course, the lesson being like you just do things for your fucking friends sometimes. You help them out. There's not like a fucking tally that you keep. And you're sitting there being like, man, the amount of times in my life that I accidentally secretly am like getting all nervous and anxious, thinking like, oh, I can't let so and so do this for me. Like then I'll owe them one, like. Anyways, Ashley Kate Alvarado, what is going on? My entry for the One Up show, organized by Cage and Cave Toy Show. Oh, a glitch, clay and acrylic paint app. Glitches in games are fucking so fun, man.
Yeah, and. You're right, dude. I think that, basically it really does underline kind of the randomness of those things, dude. But the original sculpt work there, man. God, the original sculpt work is always so good, usually with everybody. God, there's another one, dude. And you know what's cool about some of these? All of them, like the more you look at them, like the more stuff that you see, dude. You know what I mean? Like the tips of the boots. Just a lot of detail in there.
Well, I think it's what's sick is like the homage to the glitches that just happen in games. And I think that what's always kind of fun about glitches is obviously like to some degree they're not intentional. They're just like an issue that happens. But oftentimes, like when we look into it, it is something that's kind of been put there as almost like an Easter egg. It's kind of hard to program something right to completion. It passes so many hands, and it gets play tested to death. And you're going to tell me that like not one other person came across that glitch? So it's fun, man.
Yeah.
This almost reminds me of something that you'd see in like Final Fantasy era.
There you go. There's some of the original sculpt work.
I was thinking about that too when we were getting into this show today. How far like the homies have just fucking come this last little bit.
Yeah, and with this account, if you go back to the beginning of it, oh yeah. That's funny. Funny, not funny. I guess is what that is. We were just talking about that, dude. My brother has 4 boys, and I just think, God, their poor mom, dude. And if there was a little girl in the house, I'm sure some of them would defend the hell out of her. But she would be that one for sure. Not getting able to be able to play them. But anyways, I don't know what we were saying there, dude. I don't know.
I think you were attracted to the comment that was going. You were alluding or building off of the comment about how they didn't get an opportunity to play video games very often, and
But anyways, great piece, dude. I mean, what I was saying about their account was it was when they first started posting, it was all like 2-dimensional art. You know what I mean? It's all flat art. Yeah,
well, it still is
original stuff. Yeah, and then this comes out of kind of comes out of nowhere as far as like sculpting.
The toy scene's addicting like that, man.
Yeah.
Look at Lynn's The Rat Boy, same thing, right? The toy. There's something I think about the medium that at some point or another, it's this whole like, I wonder if I could do that. You're seeing these people that like everybody's so supportive all the time. Everybody's always sharing like how they did things. It's hard not to be kind of like, okay, well, maybe I will try it. Attempts were made. The arcade bot. See,
this is this is a working LCD screen, I believe. Right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I think there was a little video of it. I don't know if it's attached to this or if it was separate.
Oh my.
Yeah. See that? See the screen?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a toy that your toys can actually play toys on.
That's crazy, man. That's really cool.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. We're getting to a point that homies are just fucking nuts, man.
God.
And here's where every now and then, like, I almost have to like take a little peek over to their page and be like, what is your work normal? Like, because we see too many pieces all the time. Unfortunately, like, we're just bombarded all the time by media. And so you take a little look down and you're kind of like, okay. You get familiar again. You're like, yeah, gotcha. And then you go back up and you're like, where the fuck did the working game inside of there come from? Like, that's not a thing you've been doing. Paint app is just absolutely fucking gorgeous. I love this style, man, where people add those like, I'm sure there's a name for it that somebody's going to know, but the 2D comic lines that you add to a 3D object to make it look illustrated while also being, exactly, homie. You know what I'm saying too.
Dude, that's a dope. That paint app. I know what you're talking about. That's dope. Somebody had done some all white pieces, and I want to say they were like 5.5 with that same kind of scheme on it at one point. I think we talked about them. But anyways, dude, I mean the electronic part, dude. We could even go into that about people incorporating that. We just talked to Hijack 85 last week, dude, and he was talking about putting sound inside some of his upcoming cards.
And Vomiting had the lights in his piece. What was that? Oh, the circuit board.
Yeah. That was for the mental
fucking Feral Foundry for their piece for C is for Creature.
Oh, that was
had
dope.
The freaking battery that went up inside, and when it sits down, that.
Yeah. But dope, man. Another cool scale piece that obviously lines up with some of the figures. That robot figure, it looks like they made that as well. I'm guessing, but dope, man.
I would guess too, man.
Yeah,
they've got that silver freaking like aged metal paint app down pat.
Yeah, sweet.
The old burial Bobby.
My man, I was so glad to see this dude in this show. I was going through some old videos the other day, man, and dude, the Space Vatos, you talk about a classic piece of the scene. And then he follows up, right? And I'm like, Army Man, okay, that's cool. Then I just keep on flipping through the pictures, and then you see the ones with the Star Wars heads.
I'll tell you what, played this game, you all know that this is one of those games that basically you think the game is broken and sucks until you figure it out, and then it's fucking amazing. But until you figure it out, you're sitting there being like, this game is so stupid, it doesn't work right.
Yeah. Dope, dude. I mean, look at that.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Dude.
Where do you even find heads of this scale for those dudes? Board games?
So good. I mean, it's so, and this is what I'm talking about, dude, where like you could take this out of the show and just post it with no name or anything like that and show that to me, and I guarantee you my first guess would be Barrio Boba. I'd be like, it's different, but that looks like Barrio Boba, man. And sure enough, this is, like I'm saying, man, some of the pieces are so on brand.
So I didn't catch that till reading. Every now and then I read 4.5 inches, my dude. Those are legit fucking action figure heads on those. Those aren't little minis.
Even better. I didn't realize that. Al, let me know, dude, if those are going to be for sale. Or are you making multiples of these? What's going on, man? Because these are sick. Oh, yes, dude. Look at the scale. I love them even more, dude.
Yeah.
I love them even more.
Judging by like the 3 fingers and a pinky behind, that's fucking massive.
dude, I mean, you're getting into the size of like Mark's figures now. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that is so fucking good, man.
Good stances, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what that line is, but admittedly, I should have kind of clued in. If they're like these guys, I should have clued in that scale is rather large. For fuck's sakes, man. Honestly, what drives me like insane about these shows, man, is how many people are making molds and everything as well. Like that part's wild to me. I was sitting here being like, I refuse to make a mold. That was like my number one thing. I was like, I will do everything I can to avoid having to make a silicone mold. I am not pouring a fucking mold for a one-off.
Look at Zimico, right on point, dude. B needs a custom set with the guns cut off. Absolutely, dude. Wouldn't that be funny? That'd be so funny. Titty Bean, what up, man?
Didn't expect to be seeing the old Titty on here. Homie, I was watching one of your reels you did the other day, and it was fucking stupid, dude, with that fucking blue and pink marble that you did, but you'd also slammed 2 little yellow pluggies into the freaking mold first. Fucking creative shit, dude.
Dude, that Bosk, man. Do you see that Bosk?
He's a
dead center.
And this is something that I think like it's pretty easy to overlook, but good fits, man. You've honestly cleaned up like the necklines and stuff to make them
seamless,
look really nice. Yeah,
seamless.
They're really sharp, dude.
Seamless. And I think if we're talking about kit bashing, right? Like making something look seamless.
Big part of it.
That's a fucking thing, man. You know what I mean? I think we've all seen pieces where it just kind of looks too far out of place, where it's either the fit or something. And sometimes that's the thing, right? Is that the fit is not there. But I think if we're talking about, kit bashing something that looks seamless, then I mean, all of a sudden that becomes a thing. And those are fucking great, dude. Damn. Nice job, dude. Nice job.
Now, Basement Sludge is an artist that I personally haven't seen a whole lot of their work. These are
Basement Sludge. Eddie, tell me. I think Basement Sludge is from Philly. Eddie will set me straight on that. Yar's Revenge, bro. That's one for Atari that I did not have. That's an old school game.
What I'm loving are those fucking clear wings.
Dude, I really like that. That is cool. Love that.
Yeah, those are really sharp. You guys all went all out for this shit, man.
Well, you know what I was just going to say, dude? Isn't it funny how some people make a whole run of stuff? Some people just do one thing. Some people make a whole run. Yar's Revenge, yeah. Dude, there was tons of Atari games that were just fucking impossible as a kid. But even looking at them as an adult, you're just like, dude, how did you must have had to play that over and over again.
Those super hard ones, as I got older, I started to kind of realize like they were made for people like us that were playing video games when the video games came out. Like that's the part that I often think about that, because I don't know why. It's just like a weird little thing that like, think of how into video games you were when you were like 16 or something, or if you know of any like 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds who are just like obsessed with video games. That character type, like that archetype, existed in the 90s too. So when things like Sonic were coming out, or Echo, or fucking this Wa's Revenge, is that what you guys are? Yar's Revenge? Sorry. It was sometimes made for people who were like 30, 40 years old, who they'd spend their evenings excited to get home to play this game. And the harder it was, the more hours of gameplay you got out of it.
True.
And sense of accomplishment, I suppose.
For sure. Good one.
Now I'm going to do a quick little refresh over here on Cape Kong, just to kind of double check. But I didn't see a post for tonight. So I'm going to kind of hop over. This was a fucking brilliant, man.
Oh, man.
It was so smart to do it this way. Mario in the frog suit, dude. Come on.
Cat Fans Forever, dude. Cat Fans Forever, I think out of my collection, dude, that some of my oldest pieces are from Cat Fans Forever. And I mean, at least as far as since I've been collecting, he was one of the first dudes that I bought from. and just a really good sculptor, dude. That's a really fun account to follow. His personal job is really cool, but sculpting skills, dude. Look at that. How about that game, dude? Were you into that game?
Mario?
That specific one.
Honestly, not necessarily, man. I had a Sega growing up. So we didn't have the we didn't have a Nintendo. My neighbor did, so it was only when I'd go over there that I would end up seeing things like Mario and like the old school hockey, even like the OG Mario Kart Racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Zymako, did he not just do a frog earlier on, or was the frog specifically done up for this show? Because again, the amount of work that some of you guys put into having a full, complete fucking piece for the one-up show is hilarious. I love that we're seeing more. Oh, hey, baby, what up? Oh, hey. I love how we're seeing more and more of the colored resins rather than the painting too, man. I feel like that's something that we've seen a lot more in the last year or two.
Agreed, man. Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. I don't even know what to say about that. It's I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, it's cool. I mean, we could talk all day about it. But yeah, using that as opposed to paint, I mean, you think how much more time is involved in something like that, or, you know, trying to get the colors just right, especially if you have to re-pour something or making two different, you know, if you run out of resin and have to, you know, make another appendage or something like that and trying to get that color right every time. But I mean, fucking A, dude, when you start breaking it down, right, and it's only dorks like us that really look into that and go like, oh my God, you had to, you know, it's a different color for everything. You need to start talking about the process that went into that.
It's almost like picking to do the really hard shit here to avoid sitting there painting all these things that like plastic doesn't really like to have paint adhere to it. The more that you're like touching these things, the more likely that the paint's going to rub and scratch and everything else. That fucking mold plug though is sexy, man. Good fucking mold. Sorry. Cave Dweller Toys, what's going on? Let's get obscure. Who loves bootleg Bible games? They made Keshi figures based on Sunday Fun Day, the ride. So I don't know about you guys. I did not have Sunday Fun Day, the ride.
I saw them actually. I clicked on their show and was and I saw Cave Dweller talking about these. I just noticed the base that they're standing on, dude. Look at that. I think that's that old
the Nintendo robot that you could get to play games with you if you were super cool. What's jokes about that robot is realistically, like, it was meant for those who didn't have a companion to play games with, but only the most cool, badass kids had one. Zymako, trick to color matching the color into a bunch of part B, and only mixing A, B as needed. It comes out the same. There you are. That's a good little tippy from the Lord Zymot. Boom. 2 available, metallic red and flesh. Claim in the comments if you want one. They're gonna be 25 USD. Now, when you were watching this show with him, did you mention if he ended up doing a full sculpt of this?
I didn't see that part. I didn't see him talk about that, but I saw him talk about the packaging too. I know Kajiki gave him the idea for the iridescent backer there, and then he said that he was down at Staples making the card. Which, you know, for Cave Dweller, if you follow Cave Dweller stuff, a bagged carded piece, that's not something that we would regularly see, but yeah, he definitely went the extra step on this one.
I'm trying to picture now what sad childhood Cave Dweller had to have that they were playing this fucking games.
Sunday Fun Day, the ride. I don't know, dude. That is rare. I'm not familiar with that one, dude. Is that a Nintendo game?
And what do you do in it?
I don't know, dude. But that animation is so bad. You know what I mean? Like that's one of those awkward, one of those weird cartoons that I was probably like kind of probably came on at the end of the cartoon cycle, and you're like, all right, cartoons are over for the day. You just turn that one off. That's time to go outside.
So ride. Obviously, I'm doing a little deep dive now as we're trying to do this, but I just can't picture what you would do in that game. I think that's the part that I'm just so confused about.
Yeah.
You're on a skateboard, but do you hit people? Do you just jump on things? The game was the last to be released by any company for the American NES. Can we just blame Sunday Funday then for the fail of Super Nintendo? Yeah, bootleg religious and NES games. I had a complete set of these Bible games at one point. Now, okay, we should pull one of you freaks in here because this is going to be something that I'm going to end up having to dive down later. What do you mean bootleg religious NES games? Like they weren't mass produced or anything. These were archaic they were sold in religious stores and sucked shit. Okay. Unlike most things sold in religious stores, the games were no good. Cool Cat Toy Co. My goodness, man.
Yeah, my goodness is right, dude. I mean, we saw this newer piece that he did just recently, dude. And I think that one, we talked about that the other day or a couple of weeks ago when we all saw that, and that kind of blew everybody's mind. And then it turns into this. I mean, dope. It's dope. And you know what's funny, dude? He said that he would rather cast in separate colors than paint any day. Which I think if you look at the majority of his pieces, it is just that. And that one, I mean, there's definitely some paint on there, I think, but God, dude. With the troopers on the back too.
The flocking is what got me, man. The stupid little fucking hair and eyebrows. But yeah, you did a great job like getting the troopers to look just like little Goombas, man. Absolutely beautiful job. Nailed it. I can't like this is one of those artists that from day one I can't get over their work 90% of the time. Just absolutely beautiful work.
It is, dude. And you know, we're back to talking about sculpting again, but sculpting, not only that though, man, I mean, it's like the originality, right? And it's the scale of the pieces, and it's the glios, and it's the color palettes and the theming that he does with the colors. I mean,
these are toys in the most polite way possible. When you look at Cool Cat Toy Co. stuff, it's hard not to be like, these are toys. These are mass-produced toys.
100%, dude. I mean, they're interchangeable pieces. I mean, they're obviously made to be taken out like that. And you're right, dude. That is a bona fide toy.
When you, in the first picture they even had here, something about this underside of the belly, as stupid as it is, even that, you're just sitting there going like, that's a fucking toy.
Here's something real quick. Kyle Kerwin says he's been having fun dyeing pieces after he cast them. Huh. Interesting.
Yo, I've been preaching that for like 5 years now. Honestly, Holman, like there's a synthetic. It's gonna be the Rit Dye More, not just the Rit Dye. There's a Rit Dye More, and the Rit Dye More actually works for like synthetic materials, and it is so fucking good for dyeing materials rather than painting them. And typically what I'll do is, again, I can't speak for Kyle, but I'll do a double boiling just like you were for your melting chocolate, where I'll basically have water boiling in a pot underneath, and then I'll basically put a pot either over top of it or inside of it, and I'll basically heat up all the Rit dye inside of there and drop my resin pieces in, and I'll basically stir them around until they're the color that I want them. And you dry them off, and it's in the plastic. It's fucking top notch. Sorry.
No, I read Scott's comment. The Bible games were unlicensed.
Yeah, that's interesting to me though, man. I'm not gonna lie. When Zyma was talking about the no Nintendo seal of quality you had to pay for, and they wouldn't go after them like they would other companies, I didn't know about fucking random ass bootlegs of video games. I didn't know there was like nerdy Christian coders that were freaking Tape Fiend. I would imagine it might be toxic while you've got it heating and it's like really warm. I probably would wear like your typical like face mask when you've actually got it off-gassing like that, but the pieces themselves, I don't believe, are actually toxic afterwards. No more toxic than like the resin that we're all using. Yeah, use a fry basket setup. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Dope piece, though, man. Cool cat. That's a winner. That's for sure. Kyle Kerwin, dude, what you doing next week, dude? We don't have a guest for next week. Why don't you be our guest next week, man? If you're not busy, hit me up, dude. Please. Another good one, Dirty Yeti, man. God, there you go, bro, with the Sega Genesis, right? What a fun system that was, dude. I really liked Genesis. I still really like Genesis. I still play the fuck out of Golden Axe. But, you know, the fact that it came with Altered Beast too, was a fun game, dude. It was a fun system. Dirty
it really
Yeti,
was
nice with the 16-bit on the top. Yeah,
a big portion of it might have been that competition between them and Nintendo. That like there really was a huge driving force of trying to be the home console back then, man. Remember when Sega started going down, like when like the next console was like it was aging out and you needed new controllers and you'd go to the stores and they'd have all these new janky versions of like you just wanted the original controller and there'd be all these turbo buttons and there'd be like this like slow-mo mode and all these other stupid things you didn't need. You're just like, I just need a replacement for my fucking Sega controller with just the ABC.
Oh, dude, look at Pope Toys. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Yeah, right. That's funny, man. You're right, dude. And you know what? I later on in life, I got one of those plug and play, and it's a Genesis one. And you just plug it into the TV. It's got the 3 jacks, right? You plug it into the TV, but the controllers are actually this style Genesis controller. But you're right, they do have like those turbo buttons on them. But you do get that feel of them. But you're right, dude. I mean, from the old school system, the Master System, the squared out version, those controllers were very square and not like this the 16-bit version here. But the 16-bit version was dope, man. There was always it was just, you know, it was cool, dude. I think when it came out, I think it was cheaper than Nintendo, but still, dude, great amount of games for that fucking system. Sonic, of course, dude. I mean, what game does it say? What games are in there, dude? I cannot read that.
Well, I think Golden Axe is one. I recognize this one, but I can't name it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a cool enough individual. This Genesis guy is A+. Completely agree. Yo, okay, so that's exactly what I was talking about earlier, though. Folklorian saying, I only played Sega Genesis in college. One of my friends at school had it. That's why some of those games are so hard, man. If you had college kids fucking playing them, god damn it.
Oh, Dirty Yeti says Altered Beast. Well, there you go. And he's right. Now that I think about it, the Altered Beast did have that.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage, too.
I'm playing Axel. You can't stop me.
You know what? I was surprised, dude. Speaking of games like that, when I was making a story today, I looked up Final Fight. I have an arcade game of Final Fight, and that was and it actually popped up with Hagar. How about that one? Ghosts and Goblins, yes.
I'm impressed by the whole cord and cable for the controller, to be honest with you, man. That part gets me.
Yeah. Dope, man. Dope
also,
piece.
I can't put together what scale this is because I'm looking at Kit Bash from Star Wars Part of the Force, Momon Nadoon. There we go. I was looking at these bottom parts of the feet being like, that's not Hammerhead. What the fuck of it? There you go. Sorry. Obviously, I'm sorry, man. I like this piece. I love this. Great piece, fucking Dookie. Chronic the Hedgehog. Yes. Beauty.
Very nice.
And you just said it, man. Let's be honest. Like, Sonic is like the mascot to compete with Mario for Sega. So of course, if you had a Sega, you were into Sonic. That was your man. Then you add in the fact that it's fucking Chronic the Hedgehog. And
of course Sativa, right? Damn.
Gotta get that day buzz, man.
Look at the top, dude. Dude, go back to the top of that card. Look at that. It's super dope. Super
Right.
chill.
Shit, ready to
Dude,
bring
and
out
you know what's
the
funny
chronic
is,
hedgehog.
you know what I like about the cover of that too, is when that game started coming with the Genesis, right? It had that big not for resale fucking red block sign over it on the front, dude. And he threw that on there too. That's a good one, man. Not for resale.
And honestly, it's just one of those like concepts well executed, man. I don't know, like,
Oh, dude, very nice. Yeah, I like that, dude. I didn't get to that glowing picture before.
just beautifully slaps it right on there.
Mm.
On top of the fact, just a nice UV reactive glow too. UV reactive. Either way, sick as all hell.
So he just molded and casted a game. It looks like,
He only casted a Sega Genesis game, man.
Dope.
If anything, the sticker part was probably fucking hard as all hell. I don't know what you guys ended up.
Yeah.
I still remember printers being the fucking and fucking lines everywhere. I don't. Jake Meyer. Whoa. Y'all's YouTube accounts match your IG name so well, dang.
That's a dope one, man.
You know, we try. Dookie, beautifully done, man. Right down to the fucking back. Yo, Dre.
Ooh, good one, dude.
Bringing back a rework.
Yeah.
What was sick about this, and actually, I'm pretty sure right when I was leaving the Cave Dweller in Kajiki, they had actually had this one up. They were talking about it. But I was fortunate enough, Dre was actually kind of sharing a couple of the process shots as they were reworking that Pac-Man. And I think a couple of us, if you've hung out with Dre, or if you've met Dre, or if you've gotten a package from Dre, you might even actually have one of the OG Pac-Mans or one of the OG Ghosts as well. Right, B? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, dude. I was catching up on the chat there. But yeah, dude, I love that concept of kind of a murdered out Pac-Man, I would say. It's great, dude. I mean, with the blood splatter, I mean, that's all original work on everything that we're looking at, correct?
Yeah, original sculpt work, then mold and casted, original paint apps on there. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Tape Fiend, you just got an amazing package from this artist. Glad to hear that, man.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Very nice. Dre's one of those ones that it's almost kind of like Camelbot Commander, where like they're a fucking stupidly talented painter, or even Hijack, right? Stupidly talented painter and artist, and then gets into the resin toy scene, and it's just been banging out hit after hit, killing it, man. And probably one of like the few dudes that I know that like is an avid wax sculptor at this point, man.
Dre, yeah, dude. And no disrespect by saying this at all, dude, but Dre is sneakily good, dude. Like, he's not one of those dudes that like, and again, no disrespect, but it just doesn't come to mind right away, dude. Then you get on your page and you start scrolling down and you're like, fuck, man, he's got some really good sculpt work in here, dude. And the majority of his stuff, I think, is originally sculpted, but even in his stories, you can tell, dude, that I mean, fuck, dude, that skill is there, man.
I'll admit, his ghoul might be in my top 5 favorite action figures I own. It's like for 2024, it's my favorite action figure that got released. I'm sorry for everybody out there that made some amazing pieces, but something about that sculpt, that's a fucking toy, man, and in like the coolest way possible. Like that's, and unfortunately, that's what sometimes does it for me. Is when I'm looking at this thing, just kind of going like, this didn't exist before. It was in your brain. It now exists, and like that's a toy. Whoa. Drezace. What up?
Dope.
Boom. D-Spin Stock Horror. I will never pronounce that right, but Doc Horror. That's how I've actually got him in my phone as Dr. Horror.
Okay.
You know? But they were actually telling me about this idea when we were having coffee not too long ago. And even as they were telling it to me, I was sitting there being like, that sounds fucking stupidly complex. And I'm hoping that turns out fucking beautifully. And like, honestly, I didn't even know about the ear one, I don't think, at that point. He just told me about the crushed Goomba. Fuck sakes, man. But he ended up actually having to mold all individual pieces and cast them up to then like kind of like make the actual character so you could cast them in the individual colors
Mm.
and then fucking glue them in.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. When he was telling me, I was like, holy crap, man. And then he was telling me that like he was gonna put that in a video game cartridge, and you're just like, holy crap, man. Like that's a fun fucking idea.
Exactly, dude. I was just gonna say what a great idea. And then it's something like that, dude, where you look at it and you're like, man, dude, how many different things could you do? You could probably find something from every game, realistically, right? And do everything.
And then I saw the Punch Out, and I'm sure like anybody else, I was thinking to myself at first, kind of like smart. Like if you wanted to have like an alternative, and maybe if you had like an old Halloween ear, nay, fuck your Halloween ear. I'm gonna sculpt my own fucking ear up. And you're like, holy shit, my dudes, you guys went off the wall with some of these, and like making sure that it's gonna fit in the cartridge. Fuck, man, making a mold.
Well, and I mean, think of the size of a regular NES cartridge, dude. Like that's not a small piece. You know what I mean? Like you can see the mold right there, dude. That's
a resin eater.
That's fat. But yeah, getting them to be. See, dude, and that's one of the things that's crazy. Like you see that from the outside, and like I think just the regular passerby would look at that and go, "Yeah, that's cool." But then we look at it here, and then we're talk about, well, how was that made? And then the process that goes into, and it's like, dude, there's a lot going on there, dude. There's there's molding and casting, there's painting, there's original sculpt.
There's a lot of area for failure. And let's just be honest, like every time that you have a setback, that's what's going to end up prolonging what you have to do. Is going to be wasted time, energy, and money. Those three things you just can't get back typically, right? So like you've just wasted those three things if it doesn't work out. So like even that, man, the opportunity that there was for there to be like issues in trying to even fucking mold and cast the stupid Nintendo game cartridge, and then just that much fucking resin. God damn,
that's a lot of resin. Yep. I bet they're great though, dude. I bet they feel great in hand too. I mean, that's a Nintendo. You know what I mean?
That.
They're probably great.
Fuck, man. Now you've got me thinking about what that would feel like in hand.
Yeah.
Dungeon Sweeper. We've got the Metal Fist Eco Terrorist, which is a mashup of Barret from Final Fantasy VII, and of course Doom.
Nice, dude. I like the just the way that figure sits, with the broad shoulders and then the nice the feet, nice wide feet on that.
Dude, I don't know why I haven't thought about Barret from Final Fantasy VII in like forever. I think about Final Fantasy VII quite often, and I think about like Red 13 and fucking like Cloud Strife, obviously. But damn, Barret is a good fucking character. And having him have the mic and then making him like a fucking MF Doom type character. Smart, man.
Yeah.
Painted with acrylic paint, sealed off with satin Ooh. Sealed off with satin varnish. Haven't heard that one yet. I was aiming for somewhere between the PS1's low poly look from the game and kind of a graffiti character thing with the sculpt and paint app on this.
Yeah. Eddie and I says reminds me of a Ninja Turtle bad guy, super sick. Yeah, I agree, man. It does have that look to it, almost like a
biker mice
on it. Yeah, biker mice. Yeah, nice.
That's what the moment you just said for something Ninja Turtles, my brain went like, oh, yo, biker mice from Mars, man. That grease figure that used to come with that, very similar. And just to be that dude, like, nailed this, homie. I feel like a lot of us definitely would not have pigmented this properly or painted this the right colors. And I think you did a fantastic, that like just right amount of like ready umber into it. Fuck yeah, man. That's some nice attention to the detailing.
Nice.
Fuck, man.
Microphone hand, that's really cool.
It is good, man. Again, the fact that it ends up being a combination of the MF Doom and Barret, good combos. No! Actually, I just closed Eddie and I there. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it up on this screen here. Sorry about that, homie. I literally saw my mouse go to pull it up and it closed it. But while that's happening, we are on Epoxy Crusader.
Yeah, Maniac Mansion.
I like how you just instantly had it and you're like, yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, right when I saw it.
There's Dookie. Boom. You guys have seen what happens when things drop. Boom. There you go. Eddie and I. Sorry.
There you go.
What the fuck am I doing over here? Oh. But of course, good old combinations of fantastic figures with some absolutely fucking stupidly beautiful backers too, man. This is one of those like good nods. I'm surprised more people haven't fucking hopped on that fact.
Yeah, dude, super clean, man. And Eddie and I do just a really great artist. If you're on YouTube and you're checking out the Magnificent World of Toys, he has the latest episode on there. It's about 7, 8, 10 minutes. Some really good content there. But yeah, dude, he was on the show just recently within the last couple months and went through the whole process of figure making and the backers. And I mean, dude, he delivers every single time, man.
Now this is I like how they're like second piece from a well-known and very popular game from the 1980s called Polybius. We all remember Redacted, and who couldn't forget Redacted? If you want to learn more about Polybius, look up some video games on YouTube, and if the FBI or CIA come knocking on your door, don't blame me. Obviously, I'm incredibly intrigued now by this Polybius game. Polybius? I know a couple polys, none of them are biased.
All right.
That was hilarious. Come on, fuck you, B.
Oh man. Clean though, man. I mean, you know, figures, backers, it's the whole package. And it just kind of makes you look, dude. I mean, there's so much work that goes into these pieces, dude. It's just it's a good one, dude. And did too, you know.
That part I often find really impressive. The fact that some of you guys ended up having to ended up managing to get 2 of them done. I was blown away with fucking Javaho. They're chiming in today being like, you guys are all just finishing up the pieces today. I've had mine done for 2 weeks. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta take pictures of it. It's like, take one of those masterclass over there.
Yeah, right.
Busting out commission after commission lately. Yeah, these are beautifully done, man. Absolutely great. And honestly, you've opened up a fucking rabbit hole, I think, for myself and others with this one here. But honestly, again, I feel like that the Craig from Nintendo Power line from back in the day, this is one of those ones that I feel like if you popped that on Reddit, it would just fucking pop off, in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
Hopping back on over to the Epoxy Crusader, we accidentally did a little hop back and forth on there. Hijack 84, what is going on? Did you end up getting the piece by dude? I had a tab for you, so chime in if you end up popping one up.
Hijack 85.
Just to put you on the spot. Maniac Mansion. Yo, I'm digging the fact that they've got the little, and I'm sure you guys from the game are like, yeah, crumbs, that's what the hell is with the game. But the little accessories, fucking top notch, man. And the fact that this little ketchup bottle is actually like a little laser gun being gripped in, fucking stoked.
Yeah, dude, really good work there, man. And detail again. And God, that must be small, you know?
Oh, a reissue from one of their figures from 2020, Tentacle Mess.
Nice.
Fucking
Jalico. Yeah, that's funny, man.
Yo, I didn't even think about that. Like the reprogramming and or what's that called? When you basically like are translating a game for other countries and how they play them, like typically from like America and Japan. But I didn't even think about like Epoxy Crusader being over in Mexico. I don't know if your games would have had any kind of alterations to the ones that we would have known and loved.
Yeah. Game Boy games, dude. Damn.
See, when you mentioned you still had your Game Boy, that blew me away, dude. Did you have one of the old? Do you have this style Game Boy?
100%.
Oh, Jesus.
Got it when I was 9.
See, that was something that came up actually in the group chats while we were all talking about these toys. Hoarding is very real with us toy dudes. And the more I learn how many of you have your fucking OG consoles, Drea Zays busted out the box with his first console and the receipt showing how much his mother had paid for the frickin' the dude had the receipt for it. With what,
Wow.
1986, 1984? What's wrong with you? I'm just kidding. I love you,
Jeez,
Dre. Dre is sweeter than maple syrup, my dude. Explosive minestrone. No, explosive.
This is one I did not see earlier, man. This one didn't even come up in my feed.
They're bouncing back from what I understand, a shadow ban. So that might be why you're not seeing them. So if anybody hasn't seen them in a little while, maybe take a little peek over to Explosive Minestrone and just kind of see what they've been cooking up or what they've been up to. Because it might be that they're actually just not getting hit in the algorithm. And of course, but kicking off 2025 with a very kit bash and the very first online toy art exhibition of the year, one up by Kajiki Toys and Cave Dwellers. Spiny is a special Super Mario creature to me. It's probably the very first Super Mario monster that I ever committed to my memory banks. And when I played Mario Bros, then Mario Bros Classics on the Game Boy Advance, and long before I played Super Mario Bros, and saw Lakitu hurling it at the duo of Italian plumbers, there's something about Spiny's design that really stuck with me more than any other monster in the games, maybe with the exception of Rex and Fighterfly. I figured I should make kit bashes for those. All right, tongue's dead. I tried to keep reading, but my tongue has said no. Now, if this is a kit bash, it looks like it's got like fingers. It has fucking like, is that a armadillo or a beaver or?
What game is that from?
Apparently, Spiny is a special Super Mario creature to me.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You don't remember Spiny, my G?
I wasn't sure what the reference was there, or if that was an exact figure from a game, or I just missed you. I didn't hear you say that at the beginning there, but yeah, dude. I mean, more original. Okay. I mean, original sculpt work. It looks like, correct?
Yeah. Well, kit bash, a lot of kit bash, but okay. I think this is maybe where it didn't hit. So I had to go to Google. I Google image things, but I don't necessarily know exactly what we're looking at, and it makes sense now that I've seen it based on their style and what I'm looking at. If here, boom, just for shits and giggles here, we'll show you guys real quick what the heck. Because unfortunately, I didn't know the name of the character. I know a bunch of you are probably sitting there being like, "Crumbs, you didn't know this character?" It's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, registered now. So Mario and hindered your jump, right? So now seeing that, it does make a lot more sense when I'm looking at their kit bash to be kind of like, oh fuck yeah, in your style, you're paying homage to that creature. Small smooth brain over here.
Yeah, again, dude, a lot of work in that.
It's neat to see like where everybody leans into their strengths though.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of paint work on this guy.
Yeah, lots of detail in there too, man. If you look at the feet and then the front of the exactly the front of the face there.
Explosive minestrone, nicely done, dude. Fun piece. Fucked toys, dude. What in the fuck? I was staring at this for so long earlier. I read your description. I even saw your little video. Did you dissect a Game Boy? That was the part I couldn't wrap my brain necessarily around. Like I see that you're like in a digitally human rendered card back.
The burned out pixels on your old handheld screen. You remember when Game Boy started coming out with different colored cases like that? Like the unit itself was a different color?
No.
90s. It was a 90s thing, man. I mean, like, you know, once there was they came out with a whole bunch of different colors. It wasn't just a classic gray anymore. Classic gray and then anything see-through, dude. Like I remember like in the 80s, like when you had a see-through phone or something like that, like a corded see-through phone, like you were the shit if you had one of those.
Yeah, okay, so my tiny brain is finally put together with this video because that's how good the picture was. I thought these were actually inside of a hollowed out fucking Game Boy, man. Brilliant, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fucking smart, dude. That's a good one. And back to how it's like people leading into their strengths, man. Gorgeous fucking card back on that.
Dude, you see the age range on the top right-hand corner of that thing?
Old.
Old plus.
Back in my day, you could get more than a gray Game Boy.
Oh, dude. Clear pagers. Don't even get me started on those, Eddie. I worked at a pager place for a few years, me and some of my buddies, dude. And yeah, I was working there right when before and then right as cell phones started to kind of take over, man. But yeah, pager accessories were a big thing. I remember junior high. Oh, God.
Cool Cat, pagers were these things that basically would just have like a little alert.
Yeah, cool. Ask your parents, bro. You're gonna ask your parents what pagers are on that one, dude. They're still out there. They're still out there, but
Good.
Yeah, good times.
What do you mean they're still out there? Nobody has a fucking pager. If
Yes,
you know,
doctors.
you know.
Doctors and hospitals. Doctors and hospitals use them because of the frequency. Pal, okay.
He's lying. They use the same things as the steakhouse uses. I've checked.
The little buzzer. Tapey. Yeah, there you go. It's exactly, dude. They were for drug dealers. Luckily for me, my stepdad was in the pager business, and so we always had pager stuff at the house. I still have boxes of shit, dude. It's funny. Anyways, what are we looking at here, buddy?
This is actually going to be a nod for the cheat code. Yo, homies, you got all the skaters in the fucking Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 game. So this is their submission for the 1-Up 2025. If any of you remember when you'd start up the game, it would basically be this little character that was doing all the, oh my goodness. Oh, dude who invented the dark slide. And you guys know. Oh, fuck's sakes, man. Why can't I think of his name? Rodney Mullen. There we go. It would be this dude doing all the Rodney Mullen in position stuff. Yeah. Anyways, great fucking nod, dude. This soundtrack for this game was absolutely top notch. Some of I think most of us were introduced to crappy punk from this game.
Yeah, dude. I did not do. I remember when the first one came out, dude. I never really played 3. But yeah, I mean, figure wise, dude, that's a nice looking figure for sure.
Beautiful figure, man. All the little stitch work in there with all the fucking injuries from it.
Von Fake Name and Jazz was looking at it right at the same time, dude. Guys both talking about pager code, the 80085. Oh man, so good.
I wonder if they ended up actually did they make their own skateboard for it? Because we're starting to see more and more dudes making the little mini skateboards, and there's a couple of them on the wall behind there. Randy G, if you're in, are you making your own boards for these? Oh, yeah. Standing these fingerboards.
There you go.
All right. So your figure has its own little fingerboard. That's kind of a sick idea, man. Your action figure comes with a fingerboard. Sorry. This is how these online shows typically end up taking 3 to 4 fucking hours. Flello Toys. Here's my entry for the 1-Up classic video game show. Eric the Swift from the classic SNES game, The Lost Vikings. Personally, I've not played this game, but I feel like I've seen that graphic many a times throughout my life.
Yeah, dude. Flello Toys from, I believe he's from the England area. Lost Vikings, dude. Is that a game that you're familiar with?
It isn't, unfortunately, for me. How about for you?
It's not, but it's a cool looking figure though.
It's a beauty figure, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I actually have some of Flello Toys' work. It's very good. It's of the carded variety. But yeah, dude, nice looking figure. I'm just not familiar with that game, The Lost Vikings. I'm not sure which one that is. I did not look it up either.
No.
Dirty Yeti said he had it for Game Gear. There's a good one, dude. Hijack 85 had it on SNES. Nice.
Damn. Apparently, it was a much more popular game than we realized, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Probably a lot of them like that.
Yeah, I bet. Sorry,
Nice.
dude. You're probably looking at the tabs up the top being like, Crumb's running
Oh,
it halfway through. Fuck. Gray Skull Toys. Excited to be a part of the One Up Art Show hosted by Cave Dweller and Country Toys. From Antrim, I've created the two pieces inspired by the iconic Namco arcade game Galaga. Boss
nice.
Galaga, the alien tractor beam ship, and Gairaga, the player starship.
Yes.
God damn, these are gorgeously painted, man.
Yeah, they really are, dude. And Galaga, I mean, I think for anybody that's in, kind of my age range, that's one of the earliest games that I really played, especially on an arcade, man, was Galaga. But fun game. Yeah, the tractor beam, dude. You remember the tractor beam? It was a fun game.
Well, kit bashes. I was literally looking at them being like, okay, like this is a combination of different things, but yeah, kit bashes made from a Minx toys and parts brought to life with airbrush details. Dude, you're really fucking busting out the paint apps this year. It's fantastic to see, man.
Yeah. Nice.
And honestly, smart post too. The reference materials right beside there. The zoom in on the one wing. Fucking solid piece.
And dude, and you take a look at like what your reference is, and it's basically an 8-bit little icon from
little pixelated dudes.
The late 70s or early 80s, whenever that game came out.
Fucking cool cat.
Flip phone.
I'm impressed they even had a flip phone.
Yeah.
Just keep driving it home there. Did Helen end up finishing up a piece? I'm assuming they're working on a Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe a hot dog. Hopping over. Hijack. Gonna do a quick little refreshy. Boom.
There we go.
There it be. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, I couldn't picture this. Notorious Bowser, the King of Koopas, meets the King of Brooklyn, mixing fire-breathing bars and stomping beats that shake the Mushroom Kingdom. Super Mario Wana Bros, red and meth like you've never seen before, smoking pipes instead of mending them. Nasty.
Dude, look at that. Can you go back real quick to that other picture? Red and meth, the Super Mario Wana brothers. The notorious Bowser. Oh man, dude, he's really good at mixing in hip hop stuff with whatever it is he's making, dude. Marijuana.
Well, even based on like what they're when they were talking about how they'll often have these sketches and then they'll pull from like their sketchbook and stuff, it's hard not to wonder like how long you've been sitting on these. Like, did you already have a red and meth, and the whole idea being that like they're hitting the crack pipes rather than fucking fixing them? Like, how long have you been sitting on these mashups, homie?
Yeah.
Fucking dude, I don't know where you guys find the time. Maybe you're just a lot more what's the word? Disciplined. But I don't know where you find the time to actually paint up, seal, and get these guys into a little backer and stuff.
Dude, and the display setup on that next picture on the Method Man to Cal tape. Nice. Look at that. Def Jam Records. Oof. It's an old one.
Beauty work, man. Mm-hmm. No wonder you were taking a little nap.
God damn it, dude. We were talking about this one before we started here, dude. But here we go, man. I mean, Altered Beast. The game itself, awesome. We already talked about that on Genesis, but I mean,
I've got to pull it from that last one. Hijack was saying probably 15 years or more. The fucking ideas, how long they've been sitting on those mashups, about 15 years or more. Fuck, man. But yeah, this is a beautiful piece. It almost looks wood.
Exactly.
The muddy earth. Fucking solid sculpt, man.
Yeah. It's a fun game too, man. Just simple left to right. You know what I mean? Just the old scroller.
The old scrolly do. Sorry.
Super terrible. Makes me want corn.
Do you guys remember Conker's Bad Fur Day? And you have to fight that fucking like big giant king shit, and all he wants is sweet corn, and you gotta launch toilet paper into his mouth. No. Okay. Conker's Bad Fur Day, brilliant fucking game. Icon 619, solid fucking piece, man.
Yeah, really nice.
I want to fucking touch those arms too.
So good.
Jabo. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I know it's not quite this figure, but the haircut ended up making me think about it. Never mind.
I mean, dude, everything that he does, dude, his 5.5 style is just. You can really, and I think he's even proven it, dude. You can really turn almost any figure or character into a 5.5 scale or style. There's another one.
Right down to the fucking backer, man. Conker's Bad Fur Day was great, Folklore, and yes, I agree. Absolutely. One of the best two-player multi-games out there afterwards as well.
Dude, his backers and packaging are great too, dude. All the carded stuff that I have from him, it's super legit, man. Definitely like high quality stuff.
At this point, I almost feel bad because like I really don't even think of Jebaho on the same stage, man. I kind of assume that they are, miles above. Their work is always flawless. It's all like there's nothing they can't do. They're LM9 level maker, like.
Oh, for sure, dude. He's like 5.5 elite status. He had a great interview on the show too. I think one of the things that's funny about him, dude, is being from Belgium. One of his very, very, very first pieces. Yeah, and Leisure Suit Larry and shit like that, right? But one of his very first pieces, dude, was a collab with fucking Frankenlander. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy, dude. You just come out of the box with a collab with Frankenlander, like for your first shit. That's crazy, but
an absolutely brilliant maker.
Sick, sure. Man. Another one with lots of work put into it. You can tell.
Well, and Duke Nukem also, man, great grab, dude. Who didn't fucking play Duke Nukem in their youth?
Mm-hmm. Oh, DJ Cringer, what is up?
Now, I believe, did Folklorian do? He did 2, right?
I believe so.
Okay. One of my favorite games growing up as a kid, Icarus, for the original Nintendo Entertainment System. Ian Ricketts Dilios and I grew up together, and I'm not reading about you having your first homosexual experience in your bedroom playing video games, Folklore. It's not happening.
Kajiki, you totally should have left your name, dude.
Woot Woot fixed it. What was Kajiki's? Now I'm never gonna know. Was Kajiki hanging out on here as the individual that was a DJ Cringer?
Maybe.
Ah, dang it. I don't tell my real name either, so I'm not going to go digging. The Eggplant Wizard never says, "Let me give you the eggplant curse," but the phrase used a title of this piece is a referencing of what the nurse tells you if you're lucky enough to find her before you die. You will be relieved to read her say, "Let me remove the eggplant curse."
Dude, Kid Icarus, I remember that was one of the, besides Mario, that might have been the next game I played. Mario Duck Hunt, of course, but then the next one might have been Kid Icarus. I had a friend of mine. It was the very first kid that I knew that had a Nintendo. And for whatever reason, that was one of the very first games that he got. But yeah, dude, I remember playing that shit. Dude, that was back in, like, I try to remember when I knew that kid. And I was young, dude. I want to say I was like 6 or 7, man. That would have put it like mid 80s. That's how old that game goes back to.
It's a fucking beautiful
disgusting, honestly, but
dope ass piece, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I missed the game reference, but it's still a fucking rad ass piece.
Yeah, dude, that backer was super nice too, man. A lot of his backers, that we've seen recently, have kind of that die cut look to them, and it always turns out super good, man. That's funny.
Folklore has really come out of the box, I would say, in the last year, 2 years, man.
Folklore was in the first wave of NES games. That makes yeah, that makes sense. FKD, exactly, dude. First wave in a very hard game, correct. Especially when you're like 6 trying to play it. You're like, what the fuck?
Now this was fun, man. Seems like the code from Punch-Out and the NES Tetris have collided. Bald Bull and the charismatic boxer from the legendary Punch-Out has fused with the world of Tetris, and now he doesn't fit quite right. Oh, this was fun. That's a fucking fun piece, man.
Dude, that is playability. That's next level shit, man. You know what I mean?
Right?
That is just
toylicious to the max. Yeah, Folklore, absolutely, man. The backer being made one, and if anything, I'm probably gonna go back and check that out afterwards. I'm intrigued how you're doing your backers at home, because as B was saying, you've got some really nice die cut style backers lately. No, I'm not crazy. Did Punch-Out and Tetris used to come in a game where you'd pick which one you wanted to play, right? On a cartridge?
If not that I know of, dude. If that's a thing, I don't know about it. But
okay.
Yeah. I always had them as separate cartridges. I don't know if I had anything that had
multiple games.
Out. At least that had Punch-Out as one of them. Definitely there was cartridges in there with multiple games in them. I don't know if I had one that had Punch-Out as one, but I mean, just as a toy idea, man, I mean, fucking A. Punch-Out and Tetris.
Because Sega did it a lot. And I guess Nintendo didn't do it so much, but Sega would often like basically bundle things into like 3 or 4 games in a game. But this magnetic altogether is fun as hell, man. Great fucking grab for that. Dude. When I saw these, all I could think is like, leave it to Kajiki that, of course, their pieces are fucking insanely good for a show that's happening one night. These are fucking stupidly good, man. And as soon as he even mentioned with the hot dog waddles, it was hard not to kind of like remember that stupid fucking bouncy walk. It's just like, yeah. With the fucking patty for the bases and the bun.
Right. Yep.
Beautifully done, man.
Kajiki, man, and you can tell those ones have really good balance on them too. But, again, dude, with the casted color pieces on those, and you can tell it's really well put together. The feet on that, the base, everything that I have from him, dude, no matter what scale it is, they always have a really good base on it, dude, which I think is important, especially if you're, when it's all about the display. But like you said, dude, man, super clean.
That's the part that I think kills me is it's like, okay, so you made a mold, you cast it, everything is clean as all fuck. You've painted them up, you've got these beautiful bases for them, and you were throwing the show.
Yeah. Oh,
you're busy. But did you cast the boots fucking black? Because I'm so jealous, man. You cannot get that black with a paint app. That has to be black resin boots. That's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, I wasn't sure what we'd see over here. That's beautiful.
He says black paint.
Oh, damn, dude.
Wow. Yeah.
Then what are you matting with? Like, what are you sealing? It looks fucking good. Beautiful, dude. Tight.
Agreed. No, I don't. That's what's funny, man. People always, with their work, Pikmin included, dude, they set the bar really high with their work. And it just always either matches it or better. You never, dude, how often do we see anybody regress in their work? Like never. you know?
Are we really gonna? Okay, so what's even actually tough if we're because this was actually popping off in the fucking group chat about this stuff coming up today. If somebody's regressing, you could honestly make the argument they're not regressing, they're progressing as they've decided to acknowledge that art is one big giant joke. And in a world where human beings are starving and dying, to emit our time, energy, and resources into art is kind of a pity and silly. And so suddenly their art becomes anti-art and everything becomes very kind of like a commentary on how everything's crap. So it's kind
Well,
of like,
yes, but now we're talking about just that, dude. Commentary, and I'm not talking about commentary or
but that's what I'm saying
perception
is
or
even if you
what
look at
it's
somebody's work and
supposed
you're
to
like,
be.
but if you said
Like,
you've regressed, they could argue, I haven't regressed. I've acknowledged that I don't want to be clean and perfect and tight and good. I want to celebrate the
but at
mess.
what point do we draw the line and say, yeah, dude, you can if you're even faltering, right? If you're saying that you're not sculpting as good as you were, it's very easy to say, oh, well, it's just a different style of art that I'm doing. If you know deep down in your heart that you're like, fuck, man, I don't have it anymore, or I am not doing as good. I think the easy way out to say is, well, that's just my art style now. And you can say that, and it seems like an easy out sometimes. That's coming from somebody who doesn't do fucking art at all. So I could be completely wrong.
I agree with you. I would generally say that seems a bit like a cop out. Generally you want to do your best. You want to put your best work forward every time.
8-bit Mike, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I disagree.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Academies.
Right. And then we can get in, and here we go. You know what I mean? And then there is no answer. The answer is there is no answer. I think
We're gonna have to basically just restart with what is art. Why don't we just start the whole episode over? We'll discuss what is art, and then we'll build from there.
I'll tell you what, though, this guy right here, Kier's Customs, if you now he does have the perler beads on there. He actually did a demo of that on our show out in his workshop area where he was putting the perler beads in there. And then they're basically shooting them into a metal mold and making these figures. So that's a reference to the perler beads there. But yeah, always works in a smaller scale. Always really cool stuff. Great dude, man. Kier's Customs. He will definitely be at Assembly Required this year. Great videos too, man. Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Ninja Terminate.
I'll admit, when they dropped their hint, I thought it was going to be the Shinobi games originally. I thought for sure we were going to see Shinobi.
Oh, Shinobi, what a great game.
Fun backer, yo.
Yeah. And that's the other thing I was going to mention is his display right there too, man. If you look even at Assembly Required last year, dude, his table had a nice looking display on it. But, dude, that's a sick label, dude. Look how small.
Whoa. Multiple 32 millimeter plastic injection molded polyethylene ninja figures featuring 3 different ZBrush digital sculpts. So already, you're getting 3 different sculpts and then vacuum form base, stick label designed in Adobe Illustrator, all done by Justin of Kier's Customs.
Oh, there you go.
That's
Justin
cool.
Kiers is going to have a table with Cool Cat at Assembly Required.
Hell yeah, man. That's a fun table. Cool.
Yeah, dude. They were sitting next to each other last year, I believe, and maybe even the year before. But
picture didn't happen.
Both tables are going to be super sick, I'm sure.
Kier's Customs, man. Beautiful work on these, dude. Oh, dude. To put into reference to, I'm sure you guys already all saw the size of that, but the fact that the fucking character can fit in an S like a fucking game.
That's dope.
Part. That's sick. Solid sculpts. Beautiful drop. Smart concept, man. The old flow kilo flow with a double cast. Stickies.
Dude, and the double cast from Kilo Flow is sick, dude. If you go back and scroll through some of those figures, dude, there is some super sick work going on. And dude, it's one of those figures, you know what I mean? That like, it doesn't matter what's inside. It doesn't matter what color it is. It doesn't, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter if it glows or not. All that stuff is all extras on top of it, because I think if you have just a, let's say a blank figure of that, people are going to love that. Their numbers show that, reflect that. The amount of comments, the amount of likes in their, for their pieces reflect all of that, dude. It's a universal piece, dude. And I think when we had them on the show, what we noticed too was that they brought in a shitload of audience from outside of people that we normally see in what we call the scene. You know what I mean? But these are great, dude. These fit right in. Great video work.
I would say like the cutie pie stuff is very similar to Barbie. The people that are into them, like you said, they could be double cast, they could be glow, they could be UV, doesn't matter. They need it, and they're beautifully done. It's not like they're just shooting them out like they're fucking monkey turds. Like they are putting a lot of thought and care into what they're doing with them and the manipulating versions that they're doing. And even
that's a great point, dude. That's a great point on it. They're not just hastily made. Like there's a lot of them that have been made, but they're all very good. You can tell like there's a lot of really, really good craftsmanship in there, not only with the paint, but with the ideas and then the execution too, man. I mean, they all look on point. They all sell like immediately. Those things are not easy to get.
Things we don't think about with double casting is like, one, depending on how close it is to the surface is going to determine like how clear it is and how much we're actually able to see what the heck is inside of there. And then on top of that, we don't really think about how much it can move. Like even this one, like the controller on the brain, like it's literally thinking about getting home and playing video games. You can see how like there's room for that to be able to shift, but it's sitting nicely on the brain, man. I don't know. Double casting is a whole other skill in and of itself, man.
True that. Bootleg Overdose says her boyfriend's a nerd. Well, from what I hear, her boyfriend learned a lot from you, Bootleg Overdose. So he probably learned that too, because you, my friend, are just a big old nerd. And you know it. King Spider Toys. Nice. Nice.
I think with the video game ones, I really dig these backers where the characters are sitting in the video game, man. I like how the backer is actually working with the actual toy and creating a scene from the game. Just kind of that added little like.
Dude, the paint work on there too, man. God, that is so fucking. The detail, man, it gets me every time, no matter what artist it is. But anytime you start working in that scale and then start adding in details, Jesus Christ, man.
I'm with you, man. Absolutely. And then and like when I start looking at the little bits of like clay and stuff that are being done on there, the epoxy sculpt, I fucking hate sculpting, man. Strawberries and I were talking about that this past week, and they were very much like, I like the sculpting portion. I'm sitting there like most of the time just being like, I'm fucking over sculpting. Like, no, thank you. Painting, sure. Molds and sculpting, no, thank you. Casting, sure. Molds and sculpting, no, thank you. Go fuck yourself. So LRH Bootleg actually, I believe, has a couple pieces because it says it's gonna be a bonus. Am I just talking nonsense?
Maybe the one right there. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Street Fighters, Blanca. Dude, Blank was such a fucking good character. Street Fighter 2 was such a good freaking game in general. 35 euros plus or pounds plus shipping worldwide. Link in bio. Remember, I do flat rate shipping, so still only one shipping fee if you buy the complete wave. Static figure, no articulation, not a toy until you rip it out of the packaging and put it in your mouth. Adult collectible. 2 are cast in polyurethane resin and painted apps.
Dope though, man. God, that's a good one right there. But yeah, dude, Street Fighter 2, man. I remember when that hit the arcades. That was, I mean, shit. That was the shit for the longest time. Blanca was one of those characters that I'd like to just, you know, there's some of those characters where you can get somebody in a corner Chun-Li, E Honda, Blanca, and just cheese the fuck out of them. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's such an asshole thing to do, but you know, hey, sometimes you got to do that, and it works.
I was picturing out the leg sweep the other day. I was like, what game was it that you basically like? You kind of knew you'd get them right into the corner and just keep on sweeping the leg, and you could kill them every time by just continuously just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Street Fighter. What was so strange about that game is considering that it was basically just like a beat 'em up. Like there wasn't like you were actually like going through levels or anything like that. But yet, as kids, we started knowing the backstories. Like you kind of knew that like there was something between Ryu and Ken that made them like Ryu taught Ken, but Ken was actually now like bad, went against the dojo, and like you learn things about like Blanca, how like apparently like it's from the toxic waste, and like you just know these weird backstories for some reason. Even was it what's the fucking guy, the big dude that would like the sumo wrestler? Dude.
E Honda.
E Honda. I was probably like, I think I've told this on here before. I was like 5 or 6 telling my parents I wanted E Honda right on the pumpkin patch so that my weenie would be his weenie, and I'd get his legs spread. You know that stance he had like that? I wanted his legs on the inside of my thighs, so that way if I took off my pants and shirt, it would look like I had him right there, but we would share the same thing. I thought it was fucking genius. To this day, I've had several people tell me, if you get that, stay the hell away from me. But
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. I have no clue. You lost me about 5 or 6 sentences ago.
Probably for the best.
Pong. It probably doesn't get any older than Pong, man. I would have to say Pong was probably a little bit before my time as well, but you've seen it all over the place. Played it.
Dick Jones is bringing up the fucking Soul Calibur. I think what's neat about Soul Calibur is how much those games advanced as they began to develop a storyline as well. Pong, using the actual backer as the piece for the Pong.
Yeah.
Smart, man.
That's
one of those meme toys. Fucking jokes.
Yep. Look at that, dude. I mean, just that. Yeah, you're right, man. Like the backer as, I don't know. I guess what would you just like the background for the piece, and then the piece is just the Pong. Dude, that is simple and super, super good.
I remember, I think it was Yucko Toys actually did a Mario piece, posted on Reddit. It was the backer was just Mario running, and they had put one of those fuzzy little red balls in a fucking tiny little blister, just a small blister with one of those tiny little red fluffy balls, and it looked like Mario was essentially shooting one of the bouncy fireballs at the bad guys, and people on Reddit went ape over a backer with a blistered red puffy ball dead center of it. It's just like, all right, massive mini horrors for the one-up show hosted by Cave Dweller and Kajikito's Ivan Stewart Off-Road 101 custom action figure. I didn't play this game, I'll admit. I've seen that figure bootlegged quite often, but I'm not familiar. Did you ever play this Ivan Stewart's Off-Road?
I played Ivan Stewart's Off-Road a little bit. I played Mickey Thompson's Off-Road a lot more, I think. But yeah, that looks like an Adventure People character. What it looks like to me from the hands and then from the scale of it. But yeah, dude, I mean, Massive Mini. I was going to ask you who that was. You said Massive Mini Horse. Oh, dude, that screen grab from the back right there with the trophies on it. That's good. Man, that's really
good. Gotta love the
hand
hand with all the fucking the dry brush marks, all the spots where he's got the extra paint off or resin or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck, dude. For Game Gear.
Dude, and the paint too, man. Super off-road for Game Gear. Yeah, there you go, man.
Bliss Receptor, catching those fucking rare ones.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, man. What I love about this, though, is like Massive Mini Horse even said, my entries, love this game as a kid, and I still do. So it's one of those things, man, where it's like when you're imagining them like painting this up, I'm sure that they were thinking about the amount of times they played this game, and we're looking at how fucking beautifully done that dude's outfit is. That care is there because this person cared about this game. This game mattered to them, and I think that's what's kind of sick about seeing this show. We haven't had Massive Mini Horse on the show, right? I want to say we maybe had them in for a bit when we brought in Gray Skull toys.
I'd have to look at that. I can't remember.
I picture my brain being about this big and super smooth, so things either miss it or slip right off.
You know what? We did have Masters Mini Horse in because I remember the piece that I got from them. It was that with the resin backer, kind of the swirl, and then the alien on the front. You remember that? Yeah, that was a good one. And we also talked about their collab with Grayskull Toys and the John Wick playset. Remember that one? That was a very, very cool one. Great piece though, man. Ivan Stewart's Off-Road. Nice.
So Zymico was saying that arcade made like 400 fucking pounds. He had one for a while, never got it working, got mad and sold it for $50 broken. There it is, man. Zymico, honestly, I feel like the next time we bring you in, it should almost be just like an episode of Cribs. We'll just shut the fuck up and you just, hey, my name is Zymico. Welcome to my crib. And then you'll just show us all your video games and all your arcades and your pigs. And yeah, it'll be fun. This was a good grab, man. I'm surprised we didn't see more people doing this because, again, like I feel like the early 90s was almost kind of like anything and everything could be licensed for a video game. So even this fucking Crystal Lake Kill 8-bit one-off for the Kajiki and the Cave Dweller What Up classic video game art show. Boom. You and your friends are dead. Game over. Smart, though, man.
Nice colors on that, too, dude. Super sick.
Teal and purple are always good, man. And admittedly, like, again, we have a lot of homies that are into the horror. I feel like we probably have a lot of the dudes that have done a Freddy piece before. I'm kind of surprised we just didn't see a Freddy grab for this. Nick, Nightmare Studios. Good drop, man.
Yeah, nice one. I like the back of that card. You and your friends are dead. Game over.
Right? Again, what a strange game. Like this, like...
Yeah.
Sega and Super Nintendo had some of like the weirdest games, man. Do you remember the Scooby-Doo game? No.
Oh, that's dope.
Game Face, Frog Kid.
Oh, there goes that Castlevania game right there. Love that. Oh, that's cool.
That's solid, man.
It is.
Nintendo Game Boy. Now, does anybody know the reference for the Frog Kid, though? Fucking rad cast. Oh,
yeah, dude. Yes. There you go. I was going to say, when I saw that green one, I was going to say, I bet that one glows. Damn.
Kilo floats. Very heavy, 4.5 inches tall and thick. An annoying game a bunch. 7-Up had like, what? You guys are all over the place.
Oh man. Yeah, 7-Up with that spot game, dude. God, that's a fucking memory right there. Holy shit. The Noid game. God, another one.
I miss the Noid.
Yeah.
Pass the Thimble.
Good
I
one.
think we've seen any of this one before, but a ghost piece. It's a handmade mini plush of the only Pac-Man ghost that matters, Inky. He has lots of fun to make. So excited to see what everyone else made. Oh, geez, that's fucking jokes, man.
Yeah.
A little Pac-Man bum tattoo.
Yeah, something from the plush scene. That's something that we don't see a whole lot.
We're starting to see more.
Yeah, and cool they got in on the show, man. I mean, it's,
Dick Jones, I'm so sorry, man. I'm going to have to obviously go looking into Frog Kids. Loved frogs in the 90s. I'm so sorry, man. Beautiful pores and solid concept. But I will have to go digging more into the Frog Kid later. Oh, snaps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you remember that one. Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like we haven't seen much GI show, Shrek show, 1-Up.
Oh, yeah, there's only 6 posts.
Mm-hmm. Fakey McFake name. Hell yeah.
Right.
Get it. Pikmin's vinyls.
Pikmin.
Fucking filthy, man.
Yeah, dude. And I think Pikmin will tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think that's a 100% hand. Look at that shit, dude. 100% hand sculpted, articulated figure. And there's just not a lot of those out there, but that is some serious skill.
Yeah, Kid bashed a bunch of old parts into an infected squad member. with clip-on thing hands and a swappable head. Yeah, damn.
Dude, that face is nuts on that thing. Look at that shit.
Yeah, that's fun as hell, man. The swap outs are really fun.
Yeah, straight up.
And then the box portion as well. Sharply done, man. Asking 50 shipped anywhere in the US, 60 international. If anybody who sees this and would like it, hell yeah, man. Especially if you have any of the other the Thing figures or anything. This would be a great addition.
What the fuck?
That's what we're all thinking too. What the fuck, Pikmin? Crushed it, homie. Shit's so hot it set off the fire alarm. Absolutely beautiful, man. Fair. I'm so sorry, my dude. Dick Jones, Frog Necklace, where's one? Oh, shit.
I'm sorry.
Oh, so
beautiful. Beautiful sculpt, man. Gorgeous paint app on that, homie. Yo, fucking Pocket Salsa. Get out of here. You ended up doing this with... Your name's going to be in here. I know you did this as a collaboration with another individual. Our second submission... Toe for Toy. There we go, up at the top. Our second submission for One Up Show is Hollow Knight, a classic game if there ever was one. Turns out if there's a ton of people that have 3D sculpted Hollow Knight. So I added a mushroom base to ours so it stands out. Solid choice, man. Gorgeous fucking airbrushing. I know that Toe for Toy does a lot of great paint apps, so I'm assuming that's what's going on this one. But please, by all means, if this has been cast, let me know. But because it's a 3D sculpted Hollow Knight, I thought that they would have probably print this off in like a clear and then shot it with some beautiful fucking paint. God damn, that like astral sword is fucking dope. And I like the mushroom base. Mushrooms are delicious. Fucking dude, you and Topher Toys are banging out some solid ass collaborations lately, man. This one I was looking at earlier, just completely blown away by like that like fucking sea glass effect you got going on. B is going to fight the fire, right?
This was a Topher Toy collab, right? Did you just say that?
Yeah, Topher Toy collaboration.
Yeah, Topher Toy and Pocket Salsa have been doing a lot of work together recently, man. It's Topher Toy's paint work is always super, super sick, man. I think that's a great collab as far as someone who's just, like Salsa, who likes to pump out the new pieces, and you get somebody like Topher to paint them up, dude. That's clean. That is sick, man. It looks like glass, dude, right?
Yeah, I would. That's what I was saying. It looks almost like that sea glass. I don't know what you guys are talking about with that alarm. Nothing happened. Recycle Galaxy, I'm pretty sure, just went ape on everybody. They basically decided that the One Up Show was when they were just going to do like the biggest drop they've done. Like, what the fuck, man? They went all out. What a smart freaking idea, using the TMNT bodies. This is a fun as hell figure, man.
God, dude. You know what's funny? And then just about those games too, like just in Mario Brothers, if you're talking about like little spots in the game that are hard to get by, those fucking Hammer Brothers, dude. I think as a young kid, I always thought those guys were like impossible until you start timing it right. You know what I mean? Or you get them early and bump them off early. But it's I love that, dude. That is so good. You know what I mean?
They went all out. They went all fucking out on these figures, dude. If anybody remembers those old Mexican bootlegs of the Ninja Turtles that came out, that just adds that extra little like lovely element where you're looking at those old bootlegs going like, why are these dudes with masks? But they're Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. Beautifully done, dude. These are so fucking fun. Oh, I've been wanting to make molds for. I completed 4 submissions featuring the Mario Bros versus Hammer Bros. My submission of 8 points of articulation. All joints are magnetic, allowing them to be changed with other characters, following with the original bootleg toy gimmick. Unfortunately, I somehow didn't keep track of the magnet alignment on some figures, so that swappability fell short. Hey, it was an amicable try. Exactly. Amicable Herculean. Yeah, Folklorian. You know what's up, my dude. There was somebody at one point when we first got into toys that was selling the amicable Herculeans on their website for like $5 a piece. And I remember just being so fucking blown away that they were just like, they must have stumbled on a horde of these booties and they were just like, yeah. But yeah, fuck Recycle Galaxy, man. Absolutely brilliant. What a beautiful fucking drop, dude. Top notch. You win.
Nice.
Sorry.
That's a good one.
Resin Blood. One Up Arcade Art Show. I want to do something weird, so here you go. Available tonight at resinblood.com, and make sure you check out Toys Alive at. Oh, hey, that's us. Alien Storm. He's been getting a lot of fucking OG sculpts lately as well, man. More and more. Oh.
Yeah, the sculpt, dude. I mean, shit, dude. It seems like we talk about sculpts all the time, but you know, Eddie's somebody who can sit down and crank out a sculpt. You know, like it's nothing. But
okay,
dude, yeah.
Word choice. I don't know if Eddie sits down to sculpt. Eddie is the kind of dude who can pace around and do 15 things while holding a sculpt in hand and completing it while recording a song and fucking drawing some tattoo flash. And I don't think that guy sits down. Do you remember when I honestly thought I was going to be motion sick when we had Resin Blood and Plagued Earth production in at the same time? And you've got Eddie going around the basement in loops as he's talking, and Plagued Earth's ceiling has almost kind of like this fucking like Tim Burton spiral as he's just going around in circles as well. And I'm watching the two of them just. It was like, oh my goodness.
We walked about 800 miles that night, I think. But yeah, busy, always on the go, I think is the theme there. But you know, original sculpt, bagged up. That's Eddie's, you know, that's bread and butter right there, man. I know he's getting ready for Assembled Required, which I know a lot of these artists are doing that as well. But yeah, dude, I mean, he just got up in this show not too long ago, dude. And bam, here we go. I believe that. I believe that. That's probably true.
And let's be honest, man, that thing would sit so beautifully on the shelf with any of his other little like MABA style guys that you like he's been dropping.
Yeah.
It would look great next to this. It would look great next to their I know they did the Man Thing sculpt not too long ago. We could go there it is. You know?
Yeah.
It's like plain.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it looks sharp with any of them.
Yeah.
Good style, man.
Nice. Good one. You can tell it's a solid, chunky piece too, dude.
Yeah. And that they've kind of, those are their colors, man. They've kind of owned those colors. Fucking Resin Blood.
Yeah.
Never a fail.
Never.
Sir Collectible.
I thought that was funny, dude. I've been watching a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm lately, dude. I fucking love that show.
I always forget you're a Seinfeld fiend.
Oh, dude, I love it. And that's the other thing I was gonna say about Kajiki, dude. Not only is he busy doing, making pieces and running shows, but he's also sending me Seinfeld memes all day, which are fucking lovely. I love that. But to mix this in with Kirby, yeah, I mean,
fucking jokes, man. What's jokes is like you can't look at Kirby and not picture him talking like fucking. Oh my goodness. Not George Costanza, but his alter ego there, the original writer. I can't think of his name right now.
What's that?
Say that again. The star of Curb, who
Larry David.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah. So it's almost funny just picturing Kirby walking around like fucking level, doing their annoying fucking over the top, frustrated with everything and annoyed by everybody.
Yeah.
Antics.
It's great, dude. Who the fuck are we says I nailed it too. Yeah, I agree, man. Even I think that's funny, dude, when you can even on just a random character like this and you can kind of make its face or some of its other characteristic, make it look like somebody else's likeness. And I think Larry David on Kirby right there. He's right, dude. He nailed it, as Sir Collect-A-Lot does every time. Yeah.
Well, and in their style as well. Please reply to the last bidder. So they're going to be doing auction style, starting with $1.
Nice.
And with your bid, new bid in $10 increments. So it's going to end Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
Brilliant piece, dude. Gorgeous fucking backers as well. Absolutely. Slime City Toys. I hear they're Canadian.
Montreal. Dope.
Simple, man. Simple, right to the point. Classic.
Exactly, but so good, right? Like, no question on what it is, and you can just tell right off the bat. I mean, it's just really good work. Original sculpt, the paint on there.
Right.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Using the ball bearings in the monster clay.
Yeah.
Smart. But yeah, it looks like they probably cast it as two separate pieces as well, if I had to guess. And then this red portion just sits right inside of that green one. Fucking sharp, man.
Yeah.
Smart.
Exactly. Sharp. And you're right, dude, with the metal bearings in there. God, I bet that's a heavy piece too. Yeah. The green on that tube is way nice.
I would have to agree. Again, something about that translucent green just always ends up looking like sea glass.
Yes. Good point.
Snow Bro coming out of the woodwork to drop this fucking banger.
Dude. I mean, it's so good, dude. And then, like you said, I think everything that Snow Bro has put out so far, dude, has just been like immaculate 5.5 work, no matter what it is. And if you go through that page, there's definitely some sculpting going on too, man. Snow Bros. See, dude, I am not. Are you familiar with that game? I am not. But by the looks of it right there, dude, I mean, that character in the 5.5 style, he nailed that. Like, what is that, dude? I've never
I don't know, but I want to play it. This looks fun as fuck. What the hell?
That almost, yeah.
You're some kind of monster snowman guy that punches and shoots things. And
some sort of Japanese game. Yeah, that's cool though.
Gorgeous adaptation. And you weren't off the mark, man. If anybody's following along, this creating prototype He-Man is fucking insane.
Yeah.
This is the like when we talk about how some of these makers, we're just blown away by like the level some of you guys do. Like, this is kind of what we mean. Like, just flawless. This is part 6. Dude's been like removing just segments from the original toy to get it to like the OG prototype that they were fucking illustrating and designing. Like, anyways, Snow Bro is just in a class of their own, man. Could you imagine fucking them, Frankenlander, Javaho collaborating on a piece? Well, how do you collaborate at that point? You're all fucking equally.
This is a good one though, dude. Death from Castlevania. Again, dude, that whole Castlevania series was fucking awesome, dude. The really early ones. Some of my favorite NES games. Definitely one of my favorite games for Game Boy. But Space Punk toys, dude. Clean. I have a few pieces and they are all super clean. Just like a really nice 3.75. You know what I mean? Like, articulates really nice. The paint is always nice. Look at that, dude. I love that picture with the hood kind of shadowing the face here. That's dope, man. I believe Space Punk Toys is also going to be at Assembly Required. Yeah.
I'm just admiring the minimalism to the paint app here, man. That just sends it right fucking home. And then the drawing it into this scythe here as well. Gorgeous work.
Yeah. Nice, dude.
Cast too.
Yeah, like I said, man, I have some work. There's not a whole lot of work when you go to that page, but everything that I have is.
Damn.
I just posted I have one of those. Those are sick, man. That trooper right there in the middle, the green one.
Oh,
Yeah, so if you flip through, there's a purple one at the back end of that. That's the one that one right there. I just posted that one a couple days ago, but it glows like a green. And then
I love that kind of shit. Yeah.
And under the UV, it looks blue. So it's fucking like the whole thing is sick. But the fact of the matter is, dude, it's super clean work. That's a really nice figure. And Space Punk Toys, man. I like the theme they have going with their layout on their page too. Like everything is all very similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, consistency.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And only 266 followers, man.
Yeah, I believe they're from Asheville. Is that right? Am I reading that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And DM for purchase inquiries.
Yeah. Sick, man. Yeah, definitely check them out at Assembly this year. Splendid. Yeah.
This toy is fucking insane, man. Now, I don't know if you guys have played the game Spike. I personally have not, but their entry is an interpretation of the character from Spike, a fiendishly difficult game that my whole family played in the 1980s. 5 points of articulation with movable visor, available on Etsy. And what's neat with Splendid is a lot of the times, not only is their whole sculpt actually done from scratch, but they often do like their own original articulation that's working inside there as well. It's not like they're often using magnets. They're often using a peg articulation style that they're putting into their sculpt work and using on like a buck negative they have. But this helmet's fun as hell, man.
Yeah. Another sculpting too, man. I mean,
a whole fucking from scratch sculpt, mold, and cast for the One Up show. Splendid always does a great job, man.
Yeah, straight up. Really good work.
And I always kind of forget, like actually DNS and I were talking about this just this week, because of where they are. They're using like almost like an Umu style for a lot of their molds. So not a whole lot of like life from poles. They don't have access to the same like Reynolds supplies. Yeah, Dre, man. I'm glad you actually caught that, dude. My apologies. The box that it comes in as well. What's on that first vid? I know we had one shot of it actually in the packaging box. There it is. Fuck that, man. It's got raised up in here. But that would look fucking sharp, dude.
Yeah.
That beautiful sword. Hell of a fucking keyboard only. Spectrum 48K. What is a Spectrum 48K? I feel out of the loop. Let's do a quick little refresh here. Did we...
What account is that?
Okay, this is going to be STC Forge, but I don't see anything here. We're going to hop over to Super Terrible, right? Yeah, Super Terrible Toys. Speaking of the Mirio, you've been begging for this evening. Solid setup, dude. Great shot for this. Loving the figures, dude.
Dude, the Ecto Cooler high C on top of the NES, dude. I love that right there. I thought that was great.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch that at first. What is this little device, though? Is it an easy bake oven?
I'm not sure exactly.
A radio?
But they got some of the starting lineups on there with the video game figures, what they've been doing a lot of recently. If you check out their page, they've been pumping out a lot of those recently. So it's cool to see them work that into the piece for this one. But
that's kind of their style at the moment, man. Absolutely. And they look great. The heads fit like really nicely on them.
Yeah.
It makes a character really quick, if that makes sense. No, it's Dre's saying it's a radio. Super Terrible saying it's a Christmas thing. Okay. I'm picturing this thing on the front moving. Oh, okay. I broke it and made it a TV. Oh, kind of like the lunch boxes. Sharp, dude. What do we know? See, if only I read. The Nintendo is handmade. The starting lineups are my jam. So they made the cut. The controllers, the TV screen, the high C juice boxes are all handmade as well. Oh damn! I changed my mind 5 times before landing on good old Mario. I decided to take nostalgic art piece instead of just presenting you with the 2 starting lineups. You're welcome. We appreciate it, dude. It looks sharp as hell.
Yeah, the screen is super nice, dude. The lettering is super nice.
It fit in perfectly to the fact that I didn't. If we have to try and guess what the heck it is, if it's a commercial item or not, and it's actually something that you have handmade, that's probably like a good sign.
Yeah.
Super terrible, man. Beautiful to come together on those, dude.
Very
and again, little controllers on there and everything. Sharp, dude. Angry Beast.
Dude.
Double Dragon.
One of my favorites of the whole show, dude. The Double Dragon. Double Dragon on the arcade, dude, was just, you know what I mean? Played a ton of that. Played a ton of it on the NES. I believe that was one where the NES code worked. Right up there with like Atari Warriors. That was another fun one. Scrolling game. Top to bottom. Bottom to top. But anyways, this is a great one from Angry Beast, dude. Super cool.
Absolute legend, man. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Probably one of my favorite makers in the scene, man. And like even this, originally dropped in 2017 for a gallery show in Toronto called Action Statue. It's like, yeah, dude, this piece is still an absolute fucking banger. Always mixing in a little bit of cloth goods. Beautiful casting.
Yeah. The dragon foot, dude, so good.
Right?
Yeah, Double Dragon must be my friend's jam. Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, Super Terrible definitely knocked that out. Angry Beast knocked that out, man.
That's a good one, dude.
All you guys.
The interchangeable foot, too. That's awesome.
The original Cash brand. I think they did all OG like clay sculpts for this, too.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be like one of one. Chose to make 4 figures of my own 8-bit NES game characters. Sparkle Panda Rainbow Hunter is an adventure-based platform game that I am currently creating. There's a demo available on itch.io. I sculpted the figures from clay. Thanks to all the great artists involved in this one-up art show. Check out the comments for a list of the artists involved. So yes, absolutely though. Yeah, maybe we can actually copy. We'll copy and paste this into the YouTube chat for anybody who is actually curious to check this out. Boom. Boom. But heck yeah, man, that's what this is all about. Making actual freaking physical characters for games that you yourself are also creating. So many of the homies are just completely multimedia artists, man.
Yeah. That one back there reminds me of California Raisins for some reason.
This guy?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dude's definitely quote unquote brandable. You know what I mean? It's a very like simple but adorable type of character.
Yes, I agree, dude. Also, Original Cash Brand, if you haven't seen the Future Retroistic magazine, anytime you see those, I highly, highly recommend that. It's a great, great magazine of indie toys from our scene here and graffiti artists. It's all kind of mixed up in one or mashed up in one magazine, but super good. When you see that on sale, go buy one. I think they're on issue probably 7 should be the next one coming out. But if you can find any back issues of that or ever come across them, seriously, snag them up.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were actually saying they're going to send some copies to Resin Blood for assembly as well. Tone.
Very
now,
cool.
Tone, I got to say, homie, there weren't 20 heads underneath this head. So I was a little pissed when I pulled this up and I ended up to click tabs to see like 15 heads underneath there. So
yeah, right.
You want to talk about artists progressing?
Yeah, right. This is a great one though, dude. Another Mega Man. Tone's work too, man. I mean, 5.5 is typically the scale. But like you said, dude, he's made the smaller heads on some of his pieces too. So the scale is not only limited to 5.5, but God, it's really good work, man.
No, he did a great job on this, man. And for a kit bash as well, right? Constituents, helmets, Tamashi Buddy's Zero helmet, twice shrunk top. What the fuck? So he still did actually end up doing a bunch of that stupid shit that he would normally do. Tamashi Buddy's Zero helmet, shrunk twice. Top once shrunk, sides collaged together with minor sculpted tweaks. Head 1984 Voltron hunk bootleg with King Hiss male peg grafted on. Torso modified Voltron hunk, King Hiss female peg at neck, ABLM9 magnetic protocol arm magnets, arms collaged Voltron hunk upper, Tamashi Zero lower. It's like, damn, man, he went all out.
Mm-hmm.
It makes plethora, yeah, absolutely. Seriously, everyone puts so much work in. Serious apologies, my schedule doesn't allow me to do more. I love the town. What are you apologizing? Folklorian, this is 3.75. Should have a Microman in the chest. Exactly, right?
Ooh.
But like, this is one of those toys where it's kind of like if a company made a Mega Man, you'd hope it would be something dope like this.
Yeah. Ooh, that's sick.
Yeah, 4T, you killed it, man.
Yeah. Nice.
Boom. And then this is going to be Topher Toy with Pocket Salsa. Boom. Giacomo. Nice. Erna Giacomo is another one that I feel like whenever they pop up for shows, we're always blown away, but they kind of hide. Like generally they kind of, we missed them on the Shrek show actually, because they kind of hide. They were the ones that did the fucking nesting dolls.
The nesting dolls, yeah.
Stupidly cool.
Great one.
And yet, like I said, like unfortunately, it's almost like they kind of just slide under the radar a little bit. But this is a brilliant piece, man. Rocky for Pokey and Rocky for Super Nintendo, a 5 centimeter figure, Keshi style monochrome, 3D modeled and 3D printed. 5 centimeters.
Nice.
2 inches.
Oh, there you go.
What in the hell? Reminds me of something from like the Bubbles and Squeak game. Oh, nice ass.
Look how, dude, you know what that looks like? That looks like it's made out of silly putty.
But if anything, it has almost like that muscle figure Keshi kind of color to it, which works great for a 2-inch figure.
Mm-hmm.
Fun concept. Vomiting droids is fucking nuts, man.
That's just it, dude. He's fucking nuts. Right? I mean, the buttons. I love everything about these, man. I saw them and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude. And then at the end, not for sale. Okay. God, those are good. When he started adding the tubes to those, dude,
that's what I was thinking. The tubes are so fun, man. I'm looking at them as being like, what a beautiful fucking addition to your figures, my dude. I asked him earlier today, like, are you molding and casting spaghetti noodles? Like, at first I thought that's what he was doing. I literally did not know what he was using. So I was like, knowing vomiting droids, it wouldn't have surprised me all that much if they would have made a full mold of just spaghetti noodles. But yeah, button masher bears. Fuck's sakes, man. Late 80s, sitting in the basement, passing the controller back and forth to whoever was best at whatever level we were on. Mark got so mad at Marble Madness, he threw the controller at the TV. Everything is different now for all of us. That NES controller passing through the hands, back and forth, up, down, left, right, BA. Select start unlocks a flood of nostalgia and memories. Here's my tribute to the NES controller and to all of us in that basement, crushing snacks and crushing games, kids forever. I'm sure it's already like common knowledge at this point, but basically, like for any of you who don't know for whatever reason, this is going to be the game tester codes that you basically typically get like infinite life or take max damage, and it becomes just like the ultimate cheat code to blow through game for the invincibility. Kids forever.
Yeah, right. Those are
This
dope.
is fucking cool, man. So we were already talking earlier about how like this character is fucking amazing for a lot of us. But did you end up seeing this portion?
Dude, I did see that. And you know, when you're playing the way that Street Fighter works, dude, right? Like no matter what character that you are, at least if you're playing it on the arcade cabinet, like the first couple opponents that you face are kind of weaker, right? You can usually
Right.
beat them. Then it starts getting hard. If you end up facing Blanca at the back end of that run, dude, good fucking luck. And I remember playing him and then seeing him bust out this move from across the screen. And I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And it's just, but dude, what a great idea. I mean, number one, to sculpt it in that pose. And you know that they had that idea of putting it on the drill like that, or whatever was making it spin, probably going into that. So
it comes with a detachable USB powered motor for dope spinning. So for $30, whoever buys this, you do get the thing that makes him spin as well.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
The way the hair just starts flying is like it actually does a great job of replicating exactly what we all remember from that game, man.
That's
fantastic job. Yakamak, dude. Okay, homie went hard on this.
Yeah.
Another one that had multi pieces. Palace bosses. Oh my goodness. See, I grew up watching my parents and older brother play this game. Back to how it's like there's certain games that's like they seemed hard, but it's because it wasn't always just fucking 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds. Like there was adults that were enthralled by these games.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, beautifully
Yeah, I think
done.
he did what, he did 3 pieces.
They did, yeah. And like the backers are just absolutely gorgeous, man. Your backer game has come a long way this past like 2 years, homie. But just fucking awesome having the nice little screen grab and then also using that same image for the backer for the bad guy. Oh, Helmet or Germafencer is boss of the Murado Palace, whose helmet detaches and floats around shooting fireballs at Lynx. It's like a nice little touch, man.
You're right, dude. That backer is on point.
Horsehead or Mazura is boss of the Parapa Palace and wields a heavy mace in his fight against Link. It's like, dude, there's somebody out there who's going to grab all 3.
For sure, dude. That was a huge franchise. Zelda. Did you ever play Zelda growing up?
Yeah, I almost made a joke if I didn't know who Zelda is, but it wasn't worth it. Yeah, I played Zelda. How about you?
I never had a Nintendo, man. So by the time that I actually had one, I never went back and really played them. I have them, and I had some friends that were really, really into them. But no, but those pieces are. I mean, you're right, dude. The carded series. He's been doing those that's been going on for a while now, and those are really on point. The subjects of those are super, super cool. Yeah,
it's the 10,000 hour rule, dude. How do you become a master at anything? You do it for 10,000 hours. Yakamuk is apparently on that mission.
Yeah, straight up, man. But to 3 different characters, dude. That's that's going above and beyond. A run is one thing. 3 completely different ones is, that's pretty cool.
That's what I always think too, man. The amount of molds, the casting, the card backs, the time, dude. The time, the money, the energy. Zametko. Boom. This is clever.
Pong controller, dude. How about that? I was flipping through those and I'm like, man, what a maniac, dude. A Pong controller.
Right?
With fucking Hubert in the background, dude. Oh, man.
The things that they were showing in the chat and discussing, which I'm sure they would share and discuss with anybody that wanted to actually discuss it and see, was just mind-boggling, man. Some of the old systems that they have, just some of the old machines they have, the walls of games that we've seen. It's the whole console, though. They're saying it's not just the controller, it's the whole console. So if I'm...
We're not old enough to know what that is, apparently.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like the pinky would feel so good resting in this spot, though. Yeah. But yeah, Simon, you're gonna have to fucking drop a history lesson on us at some point, man. Now I'm trying to figure out how this is the entirety of the console. Am I watching it bounce over here and this person watches it bounce over there? How big are these? I 3D scanned an original Atari Pong console, printed it, molded it, and cast it in many ways. We're learning to read. We're learning to read.
There you go. If all else fails, read the directions.
I picked the best
but
game
dude, a
chair
big
for
chunky
Pong.
piece from Zimico that again is right on brand. But dude, some of the color fades in those are super sick, dude. I love those.
No, that was good, dude. But this was an exception with tiny decals.
Oh,
yeah, I think the Pong decal was a nice little touch, man. It really sent it the next bit. Those knobs are the controllers. Yeah. Oh fuck, man.
Video games.
Video games. The last one we have up on here is actually gonna be Remakes Plethora.
Yeah. Speaking of Zelda.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Cool Herc passing the mic. So I've let fear control me in the past, mainly a failure. I won't even try. Through art, I learned that bravery. Through my friends, I've learned more. This piece is about the sharing of knowledge, the conquering of fear with the help of friends. Cool Herc passing the mic.
Dope, man. I like how he took his kind of hip hop style and then just threw that in with the Zelda
video game.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Lee's a great dude, man. I think Lee is also going to be at Assembly Required this year.
Nice.
Either Remake Plethora or Hip Hop Toys, but super cool dude, man. If anybody's at Assembly Required and gets a chance to go talk to Lee, definitely go do that, man.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking to Hijack 85 last week about Lee and kind of the artists that he works with for Hip Hop Toys, and it's always some really cool shit. FKD Toys, it was a great show, everyone. I would agree with that, dude. It always is, and it's funner when it hits that kind of nostalgic bone for all of us. But yeah, dude. The amount of work that goes into it for, basically one day of showing it off is pretty incredible, dude. And it never ceases to amaze me how much people do, dude. Multiple pieces, runs.
Sorry, Simon's saying load my other post. So I'm just going over their page to make sure that I'm loading up the other posts that they had. I did see they had this one here. Made small pongs from a normal pong in shop now. Is this the post? Fair. Right, plugs directly into the TV.
There you go.
Jesus. Small brains. My goodness, man. But no, yeah, fantastic. And I'm not gonna lie too. Like, look at that fucking mustache.
Ooh, Remix Plethora says also check that officially licensed Russell Peters.
Oh shit.
That's different, dude. Russell Peters is a stand-up comedian. If you guys aren't familiar with him, funny dude.
I am blind.
Yeah, Kajiki, man. I'll put that one up on the screen there. Thanks everyone for everything. We all do these shows together, and without each other, wouldn't be able to do it. Agree, man. And congrats again, Kaj, to you and Cave Dweller for another banger of a show, dude. You guys are on a great streak right now.
So Dre is saying, heads up, Miss Massive Mini Horse's other piece. So I will make sure I drag that up here right now. While you're all looking at this beautiful Remakes Plethora, the Russell Peters piece that just made as well. Massive Mini Horse. Let's see. What we got here? Boom, boom. What you got for us, Massive Mini? Ooh, damn, yeah. Fuck, I forgot I'd seen that one earlier. Yes, this is a fantastic freaking game, man. The old school original fucking TMNTs.
Oh, yes. God, those were a bitch, right? The electric seaweed. That's funny. Yeah, dude. I think it's funny how it highlights one like total pain in the ass part of the game, or just a specific part of the game that you remember, which is another cool thing about video games, dude. It's either like the whole thing, the music, how old you were, what you were doing at the time, when you got it, who you played it with, where you played it. I think that stuff is all, cool things about video games that made really made the show what it was.
There were multiple posts of people talking about like playing this game with my family, getting this game for Christmas, playing hours with friends, passing the controller back and forth. It's like putting the coin on the table. It's like, yeah, man, this show in general was one big old freaking dopamine nostalgia ride.
Yep, for sure. It was a good one, man. Congrats to everybody who turned something in. Gosh, dude, I guess the next show that we'll be looking forward, we're going to do APOC 4 next month, I believe, at the end of February, correct? So that'll be another
come in.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody is either working on that or has something ready to go. So I'm sure tomorrow we'll start. Probably a lot of people working on those pieces. So
it'll be good, man.
Great show, man. That was a good one, fun one. Looking forward to next year's already. That'll be cool.
I am probably going to spend tomorrow morning having my coffee, going back through, doing an in-depth look on all these pieces. I'm sure that you did at 7 when they all went live. I caught a little bit of the Cave Dweller and Kajiki show, hopped on over here and we looked at them, but it's nice when sometimes you're just sitting down, taking them in for what they are. Looking forward to that, man. We're at 2 hours and a half. I think this might have been the quickest we've gone through a show. Normally show nights are like 3 to 4 hours. We did all right, man. It
was a good one. It was a pretty good pace, man. And covered a lot of stuff, dude. Not only was there a lot of artists, but some people had multiple pieces in there too. So covered a lot, but really cool stuff, man. If you guys are interested about anybody's piece for purchase, either reach out to them directly or check their posts. Some of them had prices on them, some of them don't. Doesn't necessarily mean they're not for sale. So if you want it, just ask.
Massive thank you over to Kajiki and Cave Dweller, man. You guys throwing these shows, it's a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. These ones are always a highlight on the calendar when we look at those. It's just kind of a time for us to kind of sit back and see what everybody's been doing. So it's always fun.
All right, homie. Should we let these yahoos all get on for evenings?
We might as well. I'm going to do the same. We will see you all next week. What's going on next week? I don't know. Will there be a show? Of course. What are we going to do?
You were talking to the freaking Firehawk Stallion earlier. I thought that's what we were doing. The old Kyle Kerwin.
That'd be great, dude, if he reaches out. We'll do Kyle Kerwin. But whatever it is, we'll do something dope. Hijack 85. Cool.